Guys, tap that screen. Help us out here. Help out with the live goal. Let's get out to the FYP. If you voted for Donald Trump, hop in the box. We'll dedicate this song to my friend Erica here. Do I like Queen? Obviously, I fucking like Queen. Who doesn't like Queen? The fuck is wrong with you if you don't like Queen?
People who are dead on the inside don't like Queen.
The fuck is wrong with you if you can't enjoy Queen? If you can't find a Queen song to enjoy, I don't know what to. You're probably a Republican. Ugh, it's amazing.
The harmonies, Matt. The harmonies.
Well, the harmonies, just everything. Like, just by the way, John Deacon's bass parts and I mean, so good. Like, we need to just take a moment. I need everyone to take a moment and listen to this. Listen to John Deacon's bass part here. Just highly underrated part of Queen. Oh, those runs. Listen. So good. Highly underrated. So let's see what we got here. The Walking Dead. Hi, did you vote for Donald Trump?
I do support Trump. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you tell us how old you are and what state you voted in, please?
43 and North Carolina.
Okay. Would you like to discuss with us one of the subjects that we have above or something else that Donald Trump is doing right now?
I'd like to just say that just real quick, there's a lot ICE is doing that I don't agree with. The racial profiling that's at the top of the list. So, but the thing I wanted to ask you actually about is that the MAGA isn't Christian. I was wondering if you could. I haven't been on your show before. I was wondering if you could kind of expound what the your basis is for that.
Sure. That's because although the MAGA movement purports to be Christian and very much that's the basis for so much of what they're doing. None of their policies are actually in line with Christianity or the things that Jesus Christ taught.
I see. Let me ask you this. Is there room for simply people having disagreements about the means with which to address certain issues? Like, can we at least have like disagreements on, say, the best way to help poor people, the best way to help, unhoused people, that sort of thing? Like, is there no room for just simply saying maybe we're just, we both want to deal with it, just not the same way?
No, it's really not that. It's not even just dealing with it. It's actually implementing policies that actively harm and hurt those people. So it's not even just like, oh, we have a different way to help them. It's We're not helping them. We're actively harming them.
Okay. Like, if you had to pick one, like, just as an example, like, any one or more policies you feel like that MAGA is supporting that you just are like, no, that's just actively hurting people.
How about cutting SNAP benefits to millions of people for no reason?
Okay, because my understanding is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just a layperson, that my understanding is that they're adding a work requirement,
I was just talking about during the government shutdown, Donald Trump and the Trump administration cutting SNAP benefits to millions of Americans when SNAP was fully funded and there was no reason to cut SNAP benefits to people. It was literally just to hurt those people.
Specifically because the government was shut down.
Yes, but SNAP was fully funded and there was no reason to hurt those people. Then doing things currently like saying that they want to cut funding to particular states, which particular states that all seem to have a certain political affiliation, oddly enough, wanting to cut their funding to particular programs and do so that would only hurt, that would hurt poor and disadvantaged people under the guise of fraud. Even though we know for a fact that said fraud is happening in rampant numbers, more so in Republican states, but doing so just to target and harm people in states that affiliate with Democrats. It's almost like the whole purpose is to just hurt people. It's not to help people. Again, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, we can go deeper, but again, it's not proposing anything to help people.
Okay, so this is tangentially related. I do have an issue with a SNAP because several people have pointed this out, and I feel like it does need to be addressed. There's a lot of stuff that's covered by SNAP. I'm just gonna stop you there. If you want to debate the merits of SNAP and helping poor people, you are literally proving my point. Because I know, but like, here's the thing. Jesus and Christianity, they didn't say you should help people, but only if there's a work requirement. Jesus didn't say you should help people, but only if it's items that I think are good. Jesus didn't say, like I don't really care to have a debate at the moment about what you and I think is appropriate for people on SNAP to buy or anything like that. My point being is that it's not even about, we're not even at that point in the debate. We're just at the point in the debate where the Trump administration and Republicans and the MAGA movement do nothing but take things away from the people that need it the most, which is the point of the top prompt. Okay. Well, just I want to start. Let me address that, but let me first start with this. Would you at least be open to removing non-nutritious items from SNAP?
I literally just explained to you why the answer to that is no, and you haven't actually addressed the main point of this. If you want to delve into the nitty-gritty of what SNAP has and say, oh, you know what? I'm so sorry, dude. You and I are the same age. Okay, I turned 43 this year, so you and I are the same age, and presumably you're not on SNAP, right?
No.
Okay, cool. I'm not either. And lucky for both of us that's not a situation that we're in. But you know what? I am not somebody who, if there is a single mom and she's got a couple of kids, God fucking forbid that she gets some fucking cookies or some ice cream for her fucking kids at the grocery store.
Can I just say something as well? There's no such thing as a food that contains no nutrition.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
I'm sorry, what?
Because there's no such thing as a food that contains no nutrition. Sugar is nutrition. Fat is nutrition. Vitamins and minerals are nutrition. Protein is nutrition. All of that stuff is nutrition. If you don't think it is nutrition, then you don't know what nutrition is.
I'm sorry, are you saying that Doritos are nutritious?
Define nutritious. If by nutritious you mean they contain nutrients, then yes, they do contain nutrients. They might not be balanced. It is absolutely not healthy to live your entire life on Doritos, but nutrients are all of the things like fat, like carbohydrates, like sugar, like vitamins and minerals, like calcium. All of those things are nutrients. So saying they're not nutritious, they are in fact nutritious because they contain nutrients, but they are not balanced. And you don't know what a nutrient is.
Wait, why are you saying I don't know what a nutrient is?
because you said that they don't contain any nutrients.
That's not
And
what I
they
said.
do.
They're not
Yes, you
nutritious.
did. You said, should they be able to buy food that is not nutritious? It is nutritious. It contains nutrients. And the difficulty you're going to have here is when a frozen pizza costs a couple of dollars, but buying ground beef and vegetables in order to feed the same number of people is going to cost you $15 or $20. That person, in order not to starve, is going to go for the pizza every single time. What you need to address, What you need to address is the cost of a balanced diet. And Donald Trump saying, or whoever it was who said, I think yesterday or the day before, that you should be able to feed people for $15 a day. Go sit in in one of the Trump hotels and ask that and order a meal, and at the end of it tell them that the Trump administration have said that I should be able to feed myself on a day for $15, so I'm only paying you 10 because I also need to buy breakfast and lunch.
Okay. All right. So I will readily acknowledge that, every food has calories. If any food has calories, then yes, you can burn calories. I fully acknowledge that. But just to give you some perspective there on me specifically. So I am a father of 4, and I am a stay-at-home dad, and I do practically all of the cooking and the grocery shopping. So I'm very well familiar with the process of trying to stretch a dollar because we're working off of one income. It's tough, and I fully acknowledge that. However, a frozen pizza.
I'm just gonna stop you. Again,
What?
I know, dude, but here's the thing. I think I've already explained. We haven't addressed the main point yet. You are delving off into a side branch. The main point is that MAGA, the movement, Republicans, and the Trump administration are not doing things that help people who need help. They are taking help away. If they were setting up a new system where they said, we're going to provide food banks, and the food banks only provide healthy food options, but they're food banks that are available to everybody, or it's a specific system that does this, you would have an argument, sir. They're not doing that. They just want to take things away from people. That harms people. And the SNAP benefits thing is just the tip of the iceberg. It's just one thing. There's a lot more to get into in terms of how they're not Christian and how they don't help people. Getting into the nitty-gritty of whether or not some foods are good, some foods are bad, is a frozen pizza okay, is it not okay? We're already in the weeds. That's the point. That's why I'm trying to say that we're not diving into that because then we're just muddying the waters and we're getting away from the main point. I'm not here to argue nutrition with you.
Okay, well, I would point out that when you eat nutritionally, you spend less.
That's 100%. That's 100% false. And what Erica just pointed out to you is literally documentable. That it is much more difficult to eat nutritiously on a budget as a poor person. Okay, cool. How can you prove it? What's your source?
Okay,
No, I don't want. Hold on. I don't want an anecdote from you because, Bud, I'm a dad too, and I do all of the cooking in my house as well. Anecdotally, neither of us can prove this for America because what you would need to do is you need to prove on average for America what's happening, not just I'm Joe Blow and I can go to the grocery store and do this at my local grocery store based on my income and my grocery store and my kids and the way that my family eats. That's not okay. You actually have to prove this on average for Americans. And we know on average for Americans, because we have data, that that's not possible. So I want you to give us a source that would be something like a study or something from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics that would show us what you're saying. So what's your study? What would be the source for that?
All right. So just to be clear, you're saying that the only way for me to prove that eating nutritious is less expensive, I have to go to you're looking for a study. You're looking for a factual source. That's what you're looking for.
Yes, a factual source. Thank you. Absolutely.
I mean, okay. I don't know how to make that case then. That
You don't know how to.
I feel like you're restricting. I mean, I can tell you how I do it.
You don't
but,
know how
I
to
mean,
use. You don't know how to use Google.
I mean, how do you,
You have
I
a
can make a meal
supercomputer,
that's
sir.
a
You have
certain
a
number of calories.
sir. You have a supercomputer in your hand. If
Yes,
what
I
you're
can't
saying,
leave it.
if what you're saying is true, then it should be very easy to find the information that would back up what you're saying.
Okay, so like what kind of data are you looking for? Because I can show you how much money it costs to buy, say, a balanced meal versus a bunch of frozen pizzas. And then we can do the complete breakdown of the protein content, the fat content, and the carbohydrate content. We can do that. And I
Awesome.
can
We
show you
don't.
how you can save money.
But the problem that we don't need to break down the nutritional value of the meal. And when you say I want you to stop saying the word nutritious. I want you to say a balanced meal, i.e., balancing the types of nutrition you are taking in through
Sure.
that meal, not just that it's a nutritious meal, because every meal, again, is nutritious. They all contain nutrition. I hate it when people use words in the wrong way. It really bugs me.
Okay.
But again, there are. I mean, you can, while I'm talking, you can go find. Actually, I do get to dictate liquid. You can go find this information while I'm talking. Okay, so while I'm talking, you can do your math, and I will talk. We also have to take into account when we're thinking about this, that people live, especially people who live in inner cities, do not have access. Lots of people do not have access to affordable fresh produce. If you live in the suburbs where you have supermarkets close to you, as opposed to food deserts, as opposed to if you live in the middle of the inner city where you have no large supermarkets and you there's transport issues, there's only a certain amount that you can carry, you are then in the situation where you are buying from bodega type stores, smaller stores, which we know are far more expensive. So even if you can prove this for your area, you need to be able to prove this also for people who are living in the inner cities and do not have access.
Okay, so I was doing a little googling, and I would agree that study after study shows there is a varying dollar amounts. Like I saw one that a healthy diet costs $1.50 more. I couldn't even tell if it was on a weekly or a daily basis. So
That's per meal. That's actually per meal.
Per meal. And hi, Val.
Yeah.
Welcome, Val. Hi, Val. How are you?
How's it going?
Yeah.
How's it going?
So I can acknowledge that. The problem is that what these studies are not telling you is the long-term impacts of not eating healthy.
But that's not for us to decide, right?
What do you
See,
mean?
here's the problem with your argument when you keep trying to go down to nutritional level. It's not for us to decide. When we give SNAP benefits to people, it's because they need money for food. That's up to their determination at that point what they use for that food. And people want to get into these arguments, but it's really not our argument. We live in America. We give that money for that food. They spend it on that food. That is their choice. Okay. That is what we're forgetting here. You want to control people at this point, and that is where we go wrong. Okay, we should be going, okay, we have given them the access to take care of that child. And if they're taking care of that child and that child is eating and they're learning and they're growing, that is all we should care about.
Okay,
Well, Val,
hold on. Let me
I'm
respond.
hang on.
Before-
I'm just going to say Val is absolutely correct, because I'm an educator, and what I can tell you is that kids that are hungry cannot learn.
Yes.
They can't learn. I provide breakfast for some of the kids that I teach. I always have like snacks and stuff available for the kids to have if they need them. Because this is not only affecting people in terms of them being, the kinds of food they are able to access, it also affects them in terms of their ability to do other things in life, like learn. And we know that the kids that are lacking food are also likely to be lacking books in their home. So they're less likely to be able to engage in fundamental activities for the rest of their education, like reading. Because you're not going to buy your kid a book if you can't afford to buy your kid breakfast. That it's ridiculous.
I mean, the problem here we're talking about SNAP benefits and stuff like that. Everybody refuses to go to the root of this problem. What's the root of this problem? Corporations being greedy, and that's the reality. Okay, you got corporations out there that go off the federal national, or the federal pay rate. You know what I'm saying? That they'll hire people at $7.25 an hour. Okay, or even up to $10 an hour, which does not pay for a family.
Yeah.
If you want to get down to the root problem of things, address pay.
Okay. Well, there's a lot there. So here's what I would start with. If for kids, it's not just a matter of getting food. I mean, we know very well that what food you eat makes a big difference in development. Okay? Every meal, your goal is to be about a quarter of it be protein, a quarter of it be starch, and half needs to be fruits and vegetables. At least that's what I've read. I think that there's some room for some healthy disagreement about that. But those are the broad percentages that most experts would agree with. So if kids aren't getting that, if that's not what they're getting, then it doesn't matter if the food is less expensive. It's not giving them the nourishment that they need to grow properly. Would we agree on that?
I'm sorry. I think we're continuing to take a step back. By the way, who's checking to make sure that these kids are getting that, and who's ensuring who's ensuring their development? Who's checking their development along the way and making sure that they're receiving all of that proper care? Just out of curiosity.
Where are you going with this? Like, are we?
Well, Matt, in the country that I live in, all of those things would be addressed under universal healthcare.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's right.
So they would have a health visitor when they're a baby and a toddler, and then they would be going for checkups that cost their family zero money.
Oh, okay, right. Oh, and I think it was it's Matthew. Was it 10? It's value. You can grab me. Maybe I got this wrong off the top of my head. It's Matthew 10:8 is heal the sick, raise the dead, drive out the demons. Freely have you received, freely you would give. Right. As in, So, boy, that would be great, huh? If we helped out people instead of just letting them just wither away and die because we don't want to, or let people go bankrupt from medical debt and all those different things. We could address those problems as well. Again, before we try to attack people or get into the nitty-gritty about specifics on their diets, we could actually address the real issue, which is people need proper medical care and proper guidance and all of those different things first. Then we could probably address those other issues, huh?
We can do, but we can, it should be yes and not yes but.
Okay, cool. Then why are we, and by we I mean you, why are you voting for people that are consistently destroying our healthcare system?
It's people can disagree on the best way to set up the incentives. That I don't agree with Trump on everything. I mean,
it's not Donald Trump. It's the Republicans for the last, for the last ever, but specifically since the ACA, the Republicans have done nothing but try to dismantle it, which has hurt our overall healthcare system. And then specifically Donald Trump, for the last 10 years, has been promising a healthcare plan that would come out in 2 weeks, and it's been a decade. And the only thing that he's done is try to eliminate the ACA completely without having any new plan in place. And now we're seeing healthcare costs skyrocket in America for millions of Americans, aside from the fact that the big, beautiful bill is going to rip tens of millions of Americans off of their health insurance, just period, in general, because, fuck those poor people, right? Fuck them, because Christians. So it's all part and parcel, and it's not just the Trump administration, it's Republicans in general. None of these things are in line with Christian values. They're not helping the sick. They're not feeding the hungry. They're not doing any of these things. That's why we say these things, and that's why it's super disingenuous to associate yourself with Christianity in the way that they do.
I was teaching the Gospel of John this afternoon, Matt. I was teaching the Gospel of John. I was teaching the 7 I am statements that Jesus makes during the Gospel of John.
Sure.
And the first I am statement that Jesus made was, I am the bread of life. Right?
Yes.
He didn't say, I am the fruit, vegetables, protein, carbohydrates of life. He said, I am the bread of life. And the reason that he said, I am the bread of life, is because if you were a poor person 2,000 years ago, in a place in the world where bread was your primary intake of carbohydrate, then what you were mostly eating was bread.
Sure.
He was saying when he said, I am the bread of life,
Yeah. You're right.
I will sustain you spiritually as bread sustains you physically. He wasn't saying, but only if you eat a balanced diet. He was picking the thing that the poorest people in society could identify with, which is the frozen pizza of the Holy Land. This is just, it's just silliness. My grandpa, for every single day of his life, whatever he was eating, would have a plate of bread and butter with whatever he was eating, because when he was a kid, you weren't guaranteed that you would get meat, and you weren't guaranteed that you would get vegetables, because those things were expensive as they are today. So you supplemented every single meal you ate with bread and butter. Now, our modern equivalent of that is people being able to go to places and buy cheap food in order to continue living. It's just a crazy freaking conversation.
All right, so here's a question. If we're going to be intellectually honest about this, if the Republican Party said we're going to increase SNAP benefits, but we're going to restrict the food that you can buy on the SNAP, would you be in agreement with that?
If they said they were going to increase SNAP benefits, but they're going to restrict the foods that they were going to, it would depend. It would depend heavily on how they implemented that and what foods they said, and it would certainly depend on how much they were increasing SNAP benefits and what other potential restrictions they were doing on it. I wouldn't initially be 100% opposed to that. But it would depend heavily on all of those other things. I have very little trust for Republicans because generally when they do things like that, it's to fuck over people, and that's usually what they do. And so I have very little trust that they would do anything with people's best intentions at heart. So that's number one. But number two is, actually, Roxfox brings up an excellent point in the comments. Thank you. Also, it would need to be location based because obviously, I mean, I live in Massachusetts, so the amount that people would need here would be more versus other places, etc. But also, I had one other quick question for you. In 2010, when Michelle Obama came out with her school lunch initiative, and the right absolutely lost their goddamn minds, and Sean Hannity was on Fox News railing against her. How dare you say that we take the amount of salt in a school lunch down, or how dare you come for our junk food. We have clips of them
Yes.
saying that. I'm sure you were right there condemning the Republicans because how dare Michelle Obama say that we should be eating healthier and try to do those things, right?
Yeah, I didn't agree with that at all. In fact,
Okay.
I voted for Obama twice, as a matter of fact.
Sure. By the way, thank you to Tara on the Blue app. That was an excellent point, because I think we all forget that Michelle Obama was trying to do this 15 years ago, and then all of a sudden Republicans now think that they've claimed the mantle of healthy eating with RFK.
Well, I'm not even going to touch that one. There's a lot that RFK says that I would not agree with. That we can agree on.
And yet the guy that you voted for has
Yes.
decided that he should be the most important person in charge of making medical decisions in America.
Well, the problem is that you don't get to pick and choose. I don't get to if I got to pick and choose. There's a lot that Trump stands for I would agree with, and a lot that I wouldn't. But it's like at the end of the day, it's a binary choice, and unfortunately,
What is it that you voted for? What is it that he's doing that you agree with?
Frankly, stopping illegal immigration. Sorry, undocumented.
Oh, welcome the stranger, guys.
What
We
was the
should
other
all-
thing? Hold on.
we
What
should
was
all
the other
welcome
thing
the-
Jesus said?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should all welcome the stranger because we were once all strangers in Israel. Can it just remind me when Herod the Great decided that he was gonna unalive all the baby boys because he was so scared of the Messiah coming, and so Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, packed their bags and went to Egypt. Imagine Egypt had gone, no, you better get the fuck home because no, we're not going to save you. Imagine.
All right. This is the way I look at it: is that no person in this country deserves to be undocumented. No person in this country, should be living in fear of being kicked out at any moment. I sincerely believe that. Right now, there's 8 million people that are undocumented in this country with no form of deportation protection. And I think that we have to have an honest conversation. Here's what I say. What I don't understand is why are Democrats not pushing the Dignity Act or something equivalent to it?
Oh, do you mean like like something like, oh, I don't know, the Farm Workforce Authorization Act that they pushed that Republicans shot down, that would have given all of our farm workers who are undocumented, who we desperately need to stay here to support our economy and our food supply. If you want to talk about eating healthy, the people who literally support our food supply because they make up 40% of our farm workforce. Yeah, we wanted to give those people a path to just a path to citizenship, and Republicans shot that bill down during the Biden administration.
Well, the last time I looked, the Dignity Act, there's only like a dozen or so Democrats and Republicans supporting it. Why is that?
I'm sorry. Did you not address what I just said? Could you not address what I just said? I'm sorry. Like instead of pivoting away, could you address why wouldn't Republicans support that?
I said I personally think that some form of that needs to be in place. Yes, I would agree with that. Because again, we do need the temporary work, and they need the money. So there has to be some way of doing that with some reasonable expectation that where it's not leading to just people coming and then staying.
And also to give you some context on the Dignity Act and why a lot of people are not supporting it, especially on the left, is that there's no path to citizenship with that.
Okay. Then that needs to be addressed because we definitely need them. I mean, our birth rate's at 1.6, so it's like we need to have a reasonable conversation of these. We do need the people, especially if we're reshoring industries. Which is again what both Biden and Trump want to do. They want to reshore a lot of industries. So people don't deserve to live here undocumented. We need to have a reasonable conversation about if you're contributing to society. It's like I don't care what it takes. Have them plead guilty to being here undocumented, and then here's the path you have to do. Within 1 year, you've got to learn English, pass a citizenship test, pay some kind of fine, whatever the hell it is. But let's
Let's get the undocumented population down to zero.
I wonder if there was a bill that addressed that.
What's that?
I'm wondering if there was a bill that addressed that. Oh, yeah, I think there was, actually. I think it was called the Langford Bill, if I recall correctly. And the Langford Bill addressed the very thing you're just talking about. It was the reason that every Democrat voted for it. Okay, now I want you to mind you that was actually written by a Republican. Okay, the Langford Bill was written by a Republican. It addressed exactly how to make sure people get through the documentation process quicker, faster, and a way to actually also make sure if they're not following the process that they get deported. Okay, that was all in place. Remind me, everybody, who shot down the Langford Bill?
I can't remember, but I feel like it's someone who only fake tans his face and not his ears.
That would be correct.
Well, if the Democrats have a real opportunity here, if they really make a push.
Democrats had that opportunity. No, hold on. I want to make something clear. It was the Republicans that actually had an opportunity. Okay? It was the Republicans that wrote a bill that Democrats actually agreed with. Not all of it, but they agreed with most of it and were willing to vote for it and did. It was one man who shot that bill down. And we will never see, in my near future, another immigration bill as aggressive that both sides are going to agree to again. It is not going to happen. The Democrats are not going to say, we're doing this again for one man to be able to shut it down.
I mean, to put a very fine point on what Val just said, you had a bill that was written by the second most conservative senator by voting record, James Langford of Oklahoma. So the second most conservative senator by voting record, a bill that is publicly praised. You can go on record. We could show it to you. Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham on record saying that this is the best immigration bill that we've had in 60 years, saying those exact things, supporting this bill. You've got Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, people like that coming out in support of it, and you've got enough Democrat support to pass the bill. All of those things happening. If you can tell me any other legislation that has received broad bipartisan support like that in the last decade, I would love to know what it is. And the only reason it didn't get passed, and we're not talking about that amazing border bill that is put 1,500 new immigration judges in place, that added border security, that added border guards, that did all of those different things, is because Donald Trump is a selfish piece of shit, and he decided that he wanted to run on making you afraid of the border, and so because of that, he needed to make sure that there wasn't a solution in place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he played politics, and that sucks. I agree.
And he made sure that people like you fell for it.
I didn't fall for nothing, dude.
Except you just said that the reason you voted for him was because of what he's doing on immigration.
The idea that we should be allowing that many people just to come in completely undocumented.
No one's allowing anyone to do anything. So what you've just said is a complete misnomer.
I'm sorry. So people were not coming across the border during the Biden administration?
I didn't say that people weren't coming across the border. People were also coming across the border in the Trump administration. What you're conveniently leaving out, what most people leave out, is the surge to the border that Trump talks about when he shows those charts, that he's famous for showing. It actually starts in April of 2020. That's when the surge to the border starts. Also, Donald Trump, the only reason that we didn't see the numbers go through the roof during his presidency is because he benefited from Title 42. Do you know what Title 42 is?
No, man, tell me.
Normally, we're under Title 8, but Title 42 is what you get to declare when there's a health emergency, which means that you don't have to take people in, accepting for asylum and different things like that. You basically get to completely shut down the border. That's actually shutting down the border. That's what Title 42 is. They were able to do that because of C-19. Donald Trump got that, and guess what happened? You had all these people sitting there waiting to come in to America. And guess when Title 42 got repealed? In 2022. So then what happened to all of those people who were waiting to come into America? I know, right? It's crazy how all of those facts are like conveniently overlooked. And we just go, Biden bad, people came in. When in fact, that's not actually really what happened when you put it into context.
Not only that, when you put it into context, sir, do you know, because Biden knew this was going to happen, do you know what Biden's very first bill to Congress was?
Oh, I do.
Like what, back in the 70s? I have no idea.
No. Back when he came into office in 2021, January 20th of 2021, do you know his very first bill he sent to Congress? It was an Immigration Reform Act to actually try to control the border.
Yeah.
Because he knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Biden also fought to try to keep Title 42 in place. Sir, who shut down Title 42?
Some orange guy?
Nope.
Okay.
Actually, not blaming this on him.
Okay.
So you don't know who it was?
No idea.
That would be the Supreme Court, because they said we are no longer in a pandemic situation.
Okay.
So once they said that, we go back to Title 8. Title 8's been our immigration law since the 1950s, actually.
Okay.
And it has only been changed once, and that was in 1986.
Okay.
If I'm not wrong, Val, I think during the Biden administration there was 6 or 7, I can't remember, it's either 6 or 7 separate either immigration reform and border reform bills brought.
It was 7. He put 7 different bills through that the Republicans shot down every time.
Yeah. So, and how many, Val, can you just remind me, how many pieces of legislation have been submitted under both the Trump administrations to reform the border or immigration?
None.
That's weird.
Absolutely zero.
Isn't that weird, being as it's such a priority to him that that the Republicans would bring zero legislation on this, being as it's such a priority?
Okay. Well, clearly, there's a lot that I don't know. What I don't understand is why we can't, come up with a compromise bill if this is so straightforward.
We literally did, and Donald Trump stopped it. That's the whole point. We did. It already happened. He stopped it.
Okay, so there was nothing that he was willing to accept then.
No, there wasn't, because he only cares about staying in power and getting elected again.
Okay, so now that he's in power, there's no bill that can be brought up that he would be willing to sign?
Can you show me a bill that the Republicans have put forward that would fix this problem?
Why haven't the Democrats put something forward then?
Because the Democrats aren't in charge of anything, and none of their bills get brought forward.
Okay, then you got to work with the damn Republicans and get something that
You
they
mean
will
like
put forward.
compromise like they already did and then get shot down?
You mean I told you?
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, I actually answered this question for you a little bit ago. Democrats aren't going to do it again.
Okay, look. I'm trying to have an honest conversation.
If you're trying to have an honest conversation, then fucking realize the fact that the Democrats have already done this. They have already compromised. They have already come to the table. They've already brought forth 7 different bills. They have no power now. The Republicans haven't even put forth a bill on their own to fix the problem, and you want to blame the Democrats now? Jesus fucking Christ, dude. You are lost in the sauce. You don't even understand this issue, and we've just literally explained to you every single fucking way that the Democrats have tried to fucking fix this, and you are like, why haven't the Democrats done something now? That's you.
It's really easy just to yell at me, and I don't really.
Yes, it is, because you're being purposefully insolent at this point.
if there's a bill that you think a majority of Americans would support, you're claiming that the Democrats can't come up with it, put it out publicly.
It's the Lankford bill. It was already there. The Republicans supported it and the Democrats supported it. It was going to pass. Donald Trump stopped it. What is currently the situation is that the Republicans control the House of Representatives and the Senate. Had you ever watched, remember when we were kids, you ever watched Schoolhouse Rock? How does a bill become a law? How does a bill become a law? How does a bill become a law?
I got it.
Cool. Then if you get it, then the Republicans, i.e. Mike Johnson in the fucking House of Representatives, i.e. Donald Trump's little bitch boy, he has to bring the bill to the table. He has to bring it up for a fucking vote. That's why the Epstein files didn't get released on a regular fucking vote, and they had to go around him and get 5 Republicans on fucking petition signatures because they wouldn't bring the fucking bill to the table because Mike Johnson does whatever the fuck his little daddy says he wants him to do. So if you think that they're going to give the Democrats a win on a bill for the border when they wouldn't give a win to the second most conservative senator on a border bill that the Republicans already supported, you are out of your goddamn mind. You are out of your ever-loving goddamn mind, dude. What the fuck are you thinking? How are you 43 years old and you don't understand this?
Okay, so this is how I would handle it if I'm the Democrats.
I don't give a fuck how you would handle it if you were the Democrats. I am telling you what the fuck is actually happening in the actual goddamn United States of America on January 23rd, 2026, in the year of our Lord. I don't give a fuck what you would do, and no one gives a fuck what I would do or what Val would do or what Erica would do. This is the reality of the situation, is that you voted in a president who doesn't give a fuck about this. The only thing he wants to do is get rid of brown people out of this country because he's a literal fucking schnazi and line his pockets and line the pockets of his best friends. That's it. Because if he cared about this issue, they would have a border bill on the table, or they would have passed the Lankford bill. But they don't.
Well, I mean,
And all I see is someone just simply claiming that Trump is the devil incarnate.
There you go. That's a great response. Instead of actually giving fucking facts and rebutting and saying no. Instead of actually giving fucking facts and actually giving us any actual information, you're just gonna whine now about how I just said bad things about Donald Trump and about how the Democrats blah 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 blah. Whine some more. Fucking cry about it. Instead, why don't you be a man and fucking step up and give me some actual fucking facts? What have the Democrats done, huh? Except for actually offer solutions?
I got to ask him a question. Do you believe that the ICE officers that we're seeing in the streets right now have anything to do with immigration?
It's just more loser talk. You got to stop this.
No. This ain't loser talk. I just asked you a question. Do you believe that the ICE that we're seeing in the streets right now of our country, do you believe that has anything to do with actual immigration?
That is a really loaded. Like, what are you getting at here, man? Like,
answer the question. Yes, it's yes or no.
What they're doing, I don't agree with. I mean, I said that at the top.
No. I understand that. I get what you said at the top, but I'm asking you an actual question. Do you believe it actually has anything to do with immigration?
What I said is that if you're undocumented, you do not have a legal right.
That wasn't the question. Do you believe it has anything to do with the immigration problems that we have in this country?
Yes, it is.
It does not, sir. What you are seeing right now in the streets of this country when it comes to ICE is a president and an administration trying to get you used to military in the streets. That is what you're really seeing.
It is what you guys have talked about right here. This is why Trump wins. It's like
Yeah.
just
Hey
shout.
guys, if you got it on your bingo card, mark it down. This is why Trump wins. It's the liberals' fault. Why Trump? Hey, Dad, I got one quick. One sec, Eric. I got one quick question for you. Val, how many Yeah, I know, but it's real tough. Val, how many undocumented folks roughly are in Texas? Do you know the number off the top of your head?
You're the
Texas, I wanted to say undocumented. Between the 5 levels of undocumented, we probably have somewhere around a million and a half.
Yeah, I was reading close to 2 million, but let's call a million and a half. That's great. 1.5 million. Dad, do you know how many undocumented folks there are in Minnesota?
haven't the foggiest, dude.
130,000, give or take, at best estimates. Why do we have a fucking paramilitary force on the street in a democratic state cracking skulls and unaliving U.S. citizens, and there's not a single fucking boot on the ground in Texas if this is actually something that we fucking cared about?
It's all symbolic, man. It's all
Cool.
symbolic.
So you literally have just admitted that this is entire fucking bullshit. Thank you.
You can yell at them.
You just agreed with Val, which is freaking crazy.
Yeah.
You literally just agreed with Val.
The thing is, if Democrats really were more right on this issue than Republicans, again, what's with the losing? That's what I don't understand.
Oh, sir, that's easy. Here, let me help you with that. What's with the losing? Let's see what happened in Texas 2 weeks prior to 2 weeks all the way to Election Day, when they knew that the elections were close in Texas. Super PACs that don't count towards election money, which is bullshit to me. Super PACs bought every ad spot. When I say every open ad spot for those 2 weeks to run anti-trans ads.
$1.5 billion in her war chest. Are you really going to make that argument?
Oh, really? Yeah, all day. Sir,
Really?
how much? See, here's where y'all talk about the money that is counted. Okay? Now let's talk about the money that doesn't count. Okay? The money that these PACs can put into advertisements that don't count towards any election money.
Well,
What do we
Val,
refer to that as? What is it called?
I mean, I don't know what point you're trying to make here.
It's
man.
called dark money.
Uh-huh.
Man alone, one company alone, spent over $280 million in Texas alone.
Yeah.
One.
And Val, I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry.
Dude.
I'm actually speaking right now. Val, I remember that in the run up to the election, so no foreign money is allowed to be used in US elections, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Then why was Don Jr. in London having a fundraising dinner for the US election?
Because Don Jr. can work outside of the ranks through super PACs that do not count due to, what law? What law would that be? What law did the Supreme Court put in place? Do you know that answer?
I haven't got a clue.
Is
Tell
it
you what,
That would be
Man-
called
is it-
Citizens United.
Oh, I thought it was Manchester United. Sorry, I got it.
I think I'm good. I don't think I'm really contributing to the conversation anymore. I appreciate you bringing me up. Though. Thank you. Okay. You guys have a blessed day. Oh, that's the wrong button. Shit. Sorry.
How did I know that this guy wouldn't be able to find the button? How did I know?
Thank you to Gucci on the Blue app. I couldn't have said any of that better than that. Their stupidity is maddening. Thank you, Gucci. That was very good.
It's the deflection, right? It's the deflection.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, I'm sorry. Our friend Jem is here. Jem, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there. Hi, friend. How are you?
Oh, I was I was reeling. So, he's gone. It doesn't matter.
sorry.
But Val, I'm surprised you did not get him when he came back with the Kamala response, when he said, why are Democrats losing? And then you told him about the dark money and the ads. And then he literally gave you a headline about Kamala Harris. These are the men that are responsible for why we are where we are at right now. The failure to educate and research on facts and data, the listening to the white supremacy. We have to call it out, the listening to the misogyny. But the worst thing he did in that entire conversation was he kept giving you guys a number and kept saying 11 million undocumented, 11 million undocumented. There's so many undocumented. If they're undocumented, if we don't know they're in the country, how do they know there is 11 million? See, this is the problem with this country and the white supremacy that is in control of it, is we don't call it for what it is. The reason there's a number is because those are the people that actually presented themselves at the border. Those are the people that are actually in the immigration courts. Those are the people that are actually seeking a way to asylum through the proper channels. And there are 5 levels, and I'm so glad you said that at the end, Val. 5 levels of undocumented in this country. And the fact that we don't talk about this enough is mind-boggling. And until you guys are willing to educate yourself on the immigration system, let me throw you another number out there. Undocumented people pay more taxes in this country and pay into the Medicare system and into the Social Security system than the top 1% that is stealing your money. The top 1% that is taking your tax dollars to subsidize their wealthy businesses. Elon Musk got $38 billion last year for SpaceX, a thing that is blowing up in midair every couple of weeks. We are subsidizing it with taxpayer money while starving children in schools. Let's talk about subsidizing that instead of feeding our children. So if you're still in here, stay-at-home dad, your white privilege is so off the charts, I cannot tell you how gross that was. There are literal children in this country that could barely get a carton of milk to drink in the morning in schools, and now they're taking that away from them.
But Jem, think of the nutritional value. Think of the nutritional value with SNAP
If that man had
benefits.
said the fucking word nutrition one more time when he didn't know what nutrition was, I was going to scream.
Yeah, and the fact that okay, so he's up here preaching about all this stuff, and I actually wrote to you, Erica, because when he was talking about a balanced meal, after you told him to talk about a balanced meal, let's talk about the difference between what Val can afford and or any of us could afford versus an inner city child, right? Let's talk about the fact that some of these children don't get meat. They get rice and canned vegetables. They get to eat maybe fish sticks instead of real fish, real salmon, right? Because that's what their mom could afford, or their family as a whole. Let's talk about the fact that he's a stay-at-home dad and he's preaching about how he's the head cook in his family and he does this and he does that because he's afforded that. But most kids in this country either come from single homes or 2 working parents. 2. So the mom's not worried about whether or not the salmon has skin on it or not. They're worried about whether they can get a hot meal into their child before bath time so that they can start all over again the next day.
Yep.
Well,
This is the disgusting part about it. Go ahead.
I was just going to point out as well, Jem, like, in order to cook from scratch, you have to know how to cook from scratch. And people are not, unless your parents teach you, most people are not taught to cook from scratch anymore. In this country, we still have lessons in school, food technology lessons, like how to cook, how to chop, like even the basics, how to freaking chop vegetables, and chopping a tomato, if you don't know how, is like dangerous, quite frankly. But it really is, unless you have a really sharp knife and you
It's
score
true.
it
You're
first.
not. No, I'm laughing. You're not laughing because you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And all of this stuff, all of these skills, if your parents didn't do it and you don't know how to do it, these are things that should be taught taught in schools. Basic skills that should be taught to people, and they're not being taught to people.
I was the youngest of 11 children. Okay. I was the youngest of 11 children. I was learning to cook and knew how to cook at the age of 8 because I had to. Why? Because we had to be able to take care of the entire family. And the fact that we don't talk about this enough about children that are 8 years old or having to cook meals. And I'm not just talking about boiling hot dogs or scrambling an egg or making top ramen or a fried bologna sandwiches. Notice every single one of those things I just identified is identified as a poverty meal, because that is what most people can afford in this country when they are in the poverty level. And we don't talk about, you didn't hear me talk about a Cobb salad or a spinach souffle, because that's not what's happening in America.
Yeah.
The fact that we are not discussing the affordability of this country has tanked to the nth degree under this administration, and that there are going to be more and more families that are starving. There was an interview the other day with I think he was in Georgia. Val, correct me, that the one that Mr. Global did the update on, and he went after him. So you have soybean farmers in this country that are literally tanking as we speak because of this administration and their tariffs.
Yeah.
And these are people who continue to vote after his first term that tanked the farming community to begin with. So when somebody like that guy, Mr. Walking Stay-at-Home Dad, comes up here and asks you, why did the Democrats lose? They lost because of people like you who failed to understand that you were voting for your own demise. You were voting against the people in rural communities. You were voting for the people in urban communities. You were voting against the very people whose tax dollars are still the same today, even after DOJ went in and fired thousands of federal workers. Where are those taxpayer dollars going? Because they're not paying those salaries anymore. They are stealing the tax dollars of American workers. And you guys are sitting back going, why don't the Dems do something? They don't do anything because they don't have the power. You are literally sitting idly by in your living room saying now that you don't agree with Trump and you've all become independent suddenly, and you want to sit here and blame the Democrats. Let me remind you that the entire MAGA GOP has abdicated their co-equal branch of government. They have forgotten that they have the checks and the balances and the power to impeach this SOB and get him out of office. So until you start recognizing that your party is literally the demise of what we are, the Constitution, the demise of education, the demise of healthcare, the demise of civil rights and human rights, the demise of women's rights, your party did it. And until you start owning it, there will be no course correction until every single American gets off their duff and votes these people out and stands up to fight for the Constitution of the United States of America to protect its citizens and every single person within its border. That includes migrants.
100%. 100%. Guys, W's in the chat for our friend Jem. Thank you, Jem, and thank you, Val. Guys, I love you. I love you both. But to get ops up, I am gonna drop both of you back down to keep it slim. But I love I love both of you guys. And I want W's. Before you guys go, can we please get everyone, make sure that you're following both of our friends? I think most of you probably are, because you know them both from their own lives, from seeing them with other friends. But please make sure that you're following our friends. And supporting them, because we love them both. I appreciate both of you guys. Okay, and we'll catch you around. Okay, I appreciate you guys. W's for Val and for Jem. We're gonna move on to our next Trump supporters, guys. If you voted for Donald Trump, hop in the box. We're gonna keep chatting. If you're over on the tube, appreciate you guys subscribing. You can also subscribe to our friend Erica. She's down in her link is down in the description. Here on the tube. Drop me a follow on my main and my backup account. Follow Erica. She's private, so it'll kind of look like you didn't follow her, but she'll just accept you at some point after the live. Appreciate you helping out with the live goal and with taking care of our friend Erica. Lastly, we both have links in our bios if you'd like to offer any additional support. If you're international, we both have PPs. And let's see. And Patrick over on the tube with a $5 super chat says, if your visa expired, why are you still here living in fear? That's majority of the illegals here.
Who knows?
Yeah. I don't...
I just want to say I've been complimented many times on the quality of my PP. So if you would like to give it a poke, please do.
Please do. Philip, hi. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
No, I did not.
Okay, friend. We're just looking for Trump supporters right now, but we appreciate you, okay? Hope you have a good one. Thank you. I appreciate you guys, but we are mainly just looking for Trump supporters, friends. White Gown, hi. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Put my dick in your mouth.
I mean, buy me a drink for a sailor. Anyways.
Chesticles first. I'm not that kind of girl that you get, not that. No, thank you.
Cheddars, hi. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
I did.
Okay. How old are you and what state did you vote in?
I am 33 and I live in Texas.
Okay. Would you like to discuss one of the subjects that we have above or something else that Donald Trump is doing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Just for background on kind of who I know I'm talking to, how old are you by haps? And what state do you live in?
I'm 40,
how old?
I'm 42 and I live in Massachusetts.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think for some of the topics that have been discussed recently and some of the things that are being stated, I guess, we can start with ICE and the idea of what ICE is and what they're doing. I think, in my opinion, some of this is, I don't want to say a show because that sounds, doesn't do it justice. But I think the idea of we've never seen anything like this, at least publicly, when it comes to immigration enforcement. And so therefore, I feel that that is part of their angle in making it public, making it the way it is, to try to put a standard or a fear of, if I do come in this country illegally, this could potentially happen to me, and this is the way it would happen.
I at least appreciate the fact that you're admitting that they're a terrorist group. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they're necessarily a terrorist group.
No, what you just described is the actual definition of terrorism.
Yeah, is that so? Well,
yeah, what's the definition of terrorism?
I don't know off the top of my head.
The definition of terrorism is the unlawful use of violence and intimidation against civilians, especially in the pursuit of political aims.
Well, I don't think that the idea of immigration enforcement or the laws that are designed around immigration are to push a political agenda.
You literally just said that what they're doing is to intimidate people. If that's pushing a political aim.
Well, then I would say that the entire U.S. that's their political agenda. I'm talking about the foundation of what immigration is based on and what our laws are. It's not single to one political party or one political movement. The idea of enforcing immigration, I think, is broadly everything that involves the U.S.
What are your laws, Cheddar? What laws govern immigration?
In regards to specific laws, just coming here. I mean, I would say that I think it's wrong to just blanket and state that everyone comes here seeking asylum.
I'm very sorry. I asked you a specific question. I asked you, what are the laws that govern immigration?
I don't know the specific statutes or their numbers. No.
Oh.
Right.
That's interesting.
Absolutely. But I think the idea that if you come to this country without any type of applyment in any form or fashion, right? Visas, work visas, whatever it might be, the idea that coming here without engaging in any of those applications or, being brought in that way,
I'm sorry,
could be considered not by law.
My brain just exploded at the word applyment. Matt knows exactly what I'm going to say. Applyment, sir? What the fuck is applyment?
It's a made up word, but the idea of applying for something, right? We apply for citizenship, we apply for work visas, we apply to seek asylum, right?
To seek what?
If someone wants to seek asylum, they typically apply for that.
To seek asylum,
Asylum,
right?
right?
No, you don't apply. What's the US law that governs seeking asylum?
8 U.S.C. 1158.
Oh, and what is it, Matt? What's the first thing you have to do before you can seek asylum in the US under 8 US Code 1158? What's the first thing that you have to do, Matt?
You have to come here.
Oh, so the first thing you have to do to seek asylum, the process of applying for asylum, literally requires you. Sorry, the process of applyment for asylum is that the first thing that you have to do is be on US soil, Matt.
Yeah.
So what you mean then is that in order to seek the process of applyment for asylum, you're actually following what you're supposed to do coming into the country. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh,
But
wow.
when you
So-
get
so
here,
they are
what do you
following
do,
the-
Erica?
So they are following the process of applyment. It's
Right.
crazy.
And when you get here, you fill out paperwork, right?
Within what period of time, Cheddars?
I'm just asking if I'm seeking asylum and I'm going to
Within
another
what
country,
period of-
Erica.
What period of time, Cheddars, does
I
US
bet they
law-
have. I bet they have
is-
anywhere from 90 days to a year.
Right, up to a year.
Okay, but there's a paperwork process involved, correct?
If you're following the process of applyment for asylum, correct?
Okay, so my statement again that all these statuses of immigration come with some form of paperwork, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I don't know what angle you're trying to play as if that people who don't go that avenue.
Oh, I'll
Right.
tell you.
What
I'll tell
are
you
they?
I'll tell you what angle I'm trying to play, Cheddars. This
Sure.
is the angle that I'm trying to play. You know fuck all about this. You know absolutely nothing. You don't even know the correct words to use with regards to applying for anything. You said, why don't people apply from outside the country? And the reason they don't apply for asylum from outside the country is because the first step of applying for asylum is you are required to be in the country.
Yeah, again, there's other many forms of immigration,
Other
like
many
work
forms.
visas,
You're
right? Do you just come?
dense as
Oh,
lead.
don't get your feelings hurt just because there's
I
other
don't-
ways to
I'm
come
sorry,
here.
I'm sorry, Poppet. I don't have feelings. I'm British. We have them surgically removed very
Right.
early on.
Yeah.
So why are you here talking American politics then?
Oh, there it
Um,
is. There it is.
Because I'll tell you why.
Because why?
Because I can, and you can't stop me. And
You're absolutely right.
I'll talk about whatever I want to talk about.
Yeah, you could and you should. So again, let's just acknowledge that if I want to come here on a work visa,
I'm
if I want to
sorry.
come here on a student
sorry.
visa, I don't.
I'm sorry. Am I having a discussion with somebody who doesn't know how a US citizen who doesn't know the laws that apply to immigration?
No,
who
because
doesn't-
I just
I'm sorry.
stated that.
I'm sorry, who also doesn't know that the process of applyment for asylum is that you have to be on US soil.
Right.
Who literally said a minute before I corrected him that why are they not applying for asylum from outside the country? And I can't talk on your politics, even though it's obvious to everybody watching this that I know more about it than you do.
Yeah, I mean, we can try to go toe for toe if you want, and you don't have to mute me. You know, we can have a regular conversation, but there are multiple ways to get into this country.
I know I don't have to, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I know. You don't have anything else better to do over there. But anyways, I think you agree there's multiple ways to get into this country. And apart from just one being seeking asylum, there is an application process that takes place. for other avenues well before you get into this country? Yes or no?
Well, before you get into this country to seek
Yes.
asylum?
No, other avenues. We're not hyper fixated on asylum, right?
Hey, bud,
We-
I understand you're trying to go down a different road because you don't really want to talk about this. But let's get back to the main point. I get it. Okay, cool. You can apply for a work visa. Awesome. Thank you. We agree. Anyways, getting back to the main point, is ICE deporting people that have applied for asylum in the United States? Yes or no?
I don't know for every single case.
The answer is yes.
Can you tell me that?
The answer is, I didn't say for every single case. I said, are they deporting people who have applied for asylum? The answer is yes. We can prove that. Are they deporting people who have applied for citizenship? The answer is yes. We can prove that. Are they arresting and detaining U.S. citizens? Yes, they are. Have they broken into houses without warrants and done that? Yes, they are. If you break into an American citizen's house without a warrant and there are no exigent circumstances, and by the way, exigent circumstances would mean like imminent danger to the people in the house, or like somebody like firing a weapon out of the house at police or something, like those are exigent circumstances in which law enforcement is allowed to go inside of a house. Outside of those, law enforcement is not allowed to enter your house without a warrant. Period. The end. That's the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. If law enforcement enters your house without a warrant and you are a U.S. citizen, is that against the law?
I thought they were, sure, for U.S. citizens.
Awesome.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Is everybody
it's not,
a U.S. citizen?
I'm sorry. It's not just for U.S. citizens. That's for everybody. You're not allowed to go inside of a domicile without a judicial warrant.
Well, you just said U.S. citizens. I just want clarification on that.
No,
Is it or not?
it's for it's for anybody, but I was pointing out to you specifically that this just happened to a U.S. citizen, but it's for everybody.
Okay.
But I was just pointing out to you that this happened.
Cheddars, I know you probably have never read and understood the Constitution, but the framers of the Constitution were very deliberate in their use of language. Where they meant citizens, they said the word citizens. Where they meant everybody on US soil, they said the word people or the word persons. So everything except who can become president and who has the right to vote. The wording in the Constitution says people or persons, which means everybody on US soil.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you, Erica. Do you think that everyone that comes here under the claim of seeking asylum deserves asylum?
No, they don't. And so that's why we have a process to adjudicate those people and judges to assess their claims. And then if they don't meet those claims, they get sent home. Cool. Anyways, I'm glad that we sorted that out.
Right.
So anyways, so if you're ICE and you're doing these unlawful things, these illegal things, and you're doing them against civilians, and you're doing them in a political way to get to the point of a political aim, which is the thing that you said that the Trump administration was doing specifically when they came up here, because you said they're doing it specifically, right, because they want to prove they're doing it with force because they want to make an example, right? And that's the whole point. That's a political aim. That's the textbook definition of terrorism. You've literally just proven that ICE is a domestic terrorist organization.
Okay.
Textbook definition.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure, I agree with you there. Again, I don't think it changes the outcome of.
So you're
what's
cool
taking
with an
place.
American. You're cool with there being a law enforcement group in America putting masks on their face and acting like a terrorist group in our country at the behest of the President of the United States.
I'm cool with a law enforcement group going and enforcing immigration. Absolutely.
That's not what I just asked you. See, you just took the question that I asked and then you didn't answer it. You answered a question that I didn't ask. The question that I asked was, are you okay with a masked group of law enforcement terrorizing U.S. citizens with violence to intimidate them? Because that's what's actually happening. You can deport people using ICE like Barack Obama did. He deported around 3 million people. Did you hear stories about ICE being awful and violent and wearing masks and unaliving U.S. citizens?
I don't think information or the ability to see that kind of stuff existed when Barack did that.
Really, Facebook didn't exist? The internet didn't exist? Social
I don't
media
think
didn't Twitter and Facebook didn't exist during Barack Obama's entirety of his term.
I don't think any of it was near as the magnitude as it is today.
It literally were the two biggest social media platforms in the world.
When Facebook first came out, there was not live platforms. People didn't use Facebook the way they use it today.
You're right. What they
just
did
don't
was
think
they
it's
would
comparable.
just post about what was going on, and live streaming wasn't as big of a thing. It was only happening on YouTube as much. You're right. Cool. Awesome. So live streaming wasn't as much of a thing.
How old is Cheddar? Cheddars, did you tell us how old you are? How old are you?
I did. I'm 33. How old are you?
Okay, so I'm 47. So like I actually remember this shit. I remember it. I lived through it.
Yeah, I remember Tom and the Facebook. I remember when all that came out. I was just as
You
old.
don't remember. You don't. Right, you're 33. You don't. Right, I joined.
Right, MySpace before that.
I'm sorry. I very much feel like I'm still talking. I joined Facebook in 2001. How old were you in 2001, Cheddars?
I would have been 10 years old.
Oh, right. So your knowledge of this is glancing. You don't know, remember, understand it because you weren't old enough.
So my age is your backfall as to why I couldn't comprehend this or make a competitive
the reason
argument.
you can't comprehend this is because you're dense.
I'm not dense. I think I've had a very, very cordial exchange. I think I've been very open. I've conceded on points. I've talked very, very intelligently to the commonality of what we think.
Can you repeat that phrase? I've talked very intelligently to the what?
I don't remember what I just said, but yeah.
To the commonality of what we think. That's not even that. That's just the definition of a word salad, sir.
Okay. Well, if you can't digest it, be quiet.
Sorry, my applyment is kind of off right now. I do apologize.
That's okay. You'll get it figured out.
So, yeah. So Cheddars. I would encourage you. So in 8, let's try this. How about this? In 8 years, in total, under Barack Obama, so 8 full years, how many people do you think unalived via ICE, whether in ICE custody or due to some sort of an incident with ICE over 8 years under the Obama administration? Total, how many people unalived either in their custody or due to some sort of incident? What do you think? What's the number?
I bet it's single digits. I'm going to say under 100.
It's 56. 56 people.
Okay.
This past year that we know of, how many people do you think that's happened to under ICE in a single year under the Trump administration?
Under 100.
33 in 1 year. So you have Barack Obama, 8 years, 56. You have Trump, 1 year, 33. Do you see where the problem might be?
What do you think the problem is?
What do you think the problem is?
Sounds like he's a little over halfway, so he's got some wiggle room, and
wait, hold on. What do you mean he's a little over halfway and he's got, I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, if you're trying to say that Barack Obama's 56 unalivings were justified in his first 8 years.
I'm not trying to say anything. I'm trying to point out to you a rate of unaliving. That would be 7 per year versus 33 per year, and that's all that we know about. Because guess what? They haven't been super forthcoming about all of this information. And oh, by the way, there are 1,500 or so people that are still completely missing from Alligator Alcatraz in Florida that we don't know what happened to them or where they are or where they've ended up.
Okay. I could easily speculate the same
I
with
don't
Obama's
no,
era.
I'm sorry. You can speculate all you want, except for the fact that
That's
you don't
what you're
actually.
doing.
No, I'm not speculating, sir. We know that those people are missing, and we don't know where they are. If you can show me where people went missing under the Obama administration and we don't know where they all ended up, I would gladly take that information from you. Please feel free to source it. I'm not speculating that these people are missing. They're missing.
You just stated that you don't think the government is giving you the full information into
All
the
I said
unalivings
was,
this
hold
year.
on, time out. All I said with is that I just don't think, I said we don't know if that's the number, but I'm taking it at the number. I just said it's a rate of 7 to 33. I gave you that number and I just said that's the number. And I said additionally, there are 1,500 people that are missing that we know of. Period. The end. I'm giving you just exactly the information that we know. I'm also pointing out to you that this administration has just straight up lied about shit and they haven't been forthcoming with information. So in addition to the fact that even the basic statistics look really, really, really fucking bad, it's probably actually worse. But take it at face value, it's still really fucking bad, dude. You have zero statistics to back up a similar claim under the Obama administration. I dare you to try.
I'm not arguing your statistics. I'm just stating that.
Cool.
What you're
So then what's the
implying,
problem?
what you're
What's the
saying
difference
is
between the...
speculation.
No, it's not speculation.
Okay,
I'm
so
giving
what if
you
no
numbers.
One else unalives for the
What's
next
that?
3 years?
Dude,
What if no one
okay,
else unalives?
so
Are we
awesome.
going to divide
So now
32
what
by
you're doing
4?
is you're trying to pull up a hypothetical. You're trying to say, well, what
you're
if
trying to
it's
say
not?
that
What if
these
it's
deaths
not
all
bad?
happened in the
Now
span of
we've
8
just seen
years.
for the last year, Cheddars. For the last year, we've seen masked ICE agents go around unaliving people, treating civilians like their own personal fucking violent playthings, barging into people's houses without warrants, doing all of this shit that's completely fucking illegal. And you're like, well, what if they're not so bad the next couple of years? That's your argument. That's your entire fucking argument is maybe it won't be so bad instead of actually answering the question, what's changed?
I would say the temperature of it and the protest and just the settings.
Oh,
in general.
got it. So it wasn't ICE being forced into cities and the National Guard being forced into cities and the President of the United States literally deploying military onto the streets of U.S. cities, the likes of which we have never seen in our entire history other than a few very, very, very isolated incidents in modern U.S. history. That wasn't the thing that raised the temperature in this country, bud.
I mean, I think if someone looks at that as a threat of ICE doing their job and coming into their city, I think that's
not
their
just
own
ICE,
issue.
the National Guard, the military on the streets of our cities, sir.
Okay, are people in those cities scared? Are they in martial law? Their day-to-day lives changed? Do you know that?
You
Or do you
think
just not like the
I'm sorry?
presence of
Do
that?
you think
I don't really care
I'm
if the
sorry.
National Guard's on
Hey,
the corner.
Okay, cool. So you don't care. You're just a bootlicker. You don't care. Got it. Cool.
No,
that's fine.
Just
You're
like
a
they're-
bootlicker.
Just like when cops
No,
are
you're a
on the corner,
bootlicker.
why
It's
would
fine.
I care?
No, it's fine, Cheddars. You're just a bootlicker. You say
Yeah.
yes, Daddy. I want some more. You don't care about
Nice.
authority. No, it's fine.
Nice. That's a small brain comeback.
No, it's not a small brain comeback. You were
So
literally
are you
no. You're
bothered by the
fine. Hey,
National Guard
Cheddars,
on the
it's
corner?
fine. It's fine. You're fine with authority. You want to kneel down in front of authority and unzip them. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if that's
You're
how you
fine
feel,
with
do
the
you like
military.
those-
No, what city do you live in, Cheddars? Where do you live?
I live in Texas.
Awesome. Fantastic. And of course this will never happen because you're in a protected area and you're in a state where Donald Trump won't send them, even though of course you guys have 1.5 million undocumented people. Minnesota has 130,000, but gee, surprise, surprise, they've got them on the ground in fucking spades by the thousands, ICE agents. But why aren't they in Texas? Why aren't they running all over the fucking place and terrorizing you guys? Gee, wonder why. Huh. I don't know.
We have
I
ICE
know
raids in
it's really
Texas.
tough with my fucking small brain why they're not terrorizing people in the same way that they are in Minnesota. But anyways, I digress. I understand it's really, really difficult for someone like me to possibly comprehend why that would be. Oh my God, why would that possibly be the situation, right, Cheddars? Why would it be any different?
Do you think that there's been a difference?
Why would
in the
there
way
be
Minneapolis and
thousands of
Texas be this
people in
separate?
Minneapolis? Why would there be thousands of ICE agents to handle 130,000 undocumented people versus 1.5 million in Texas?
Are there raids in Texas?
Why
happening
would
right
there
now?
be thousands in Minneapolis versus Texas? Why are they overloading Minnesota when there's 1/10 of the people there?
Okay, I'll say I don't know, so I can ask my
What do
question.
you mean you don't know? Use your brain. I thought I was the small brain one, Mr. fucking genius over here. Use your brain. Why don't you try to suss it out? Why would Donald
many?
Trump and the Trump administration send a bunch of masked fucking Gestapo to a Democratic state?
Do you know the numbers of ICE agents?
Why
in
would
Texas?
the Trump administration send a bunch
told
of
you, I
masked
said I don't
Gestapo?
know 'cause I
No,
want
I
this
want you to
conversation
use
to
your
move.
fucking brain and try to figure it out.
I want to have a better conversation with a follow-up question.
I don't give
Can
a
I ask
fuck
that?
about your follow-up question. I want you to answer my question. And if you
Of
can't,
course you don't.
oh, no. I'll answer your follow-up question. I want you to be a man and step up to the plate and answer my question first. Figure it out, genius. Tell me, why is it that they've sent thousands of ICE agents to Minnesota to terrorize the residents there when they have 1/10 of the undocumented population that you do?
All right, let's think about it.
Yep,
'Cause you
let's
want an
think about
answer. Let's think about it
Good.
together. Let's think about it together. So you think it's because so let's see. So you think that there's thousands of more ICE agents in Minnesota than anywhere else in the nation right now.
There are, because it's a fact.
Okay, show me the fact.
Show you the fact?
Yeah, show me the fact of the population difference between ICE agents in Minnesota. Of say, you like talking about Texas, so say Texas. Go ahead.
Well, let's see what's publicly available. But
Okay.
we have estimates, of course.
Oh, right, estimates, right? Yeah.
Well, hey, I hate to break this to you.
I just, it's
I
the
hate
tone of
to-
your voice is already back down. It's kind of funny. Like you're already kind of going into your little corner. Like, well, maybe they're out there. I'm not sure.
Right
though.
now, estimated by the reports of the Guardian and NPR, there are 3,000 federal agents in Minnesota right now working on that. And versus Texas, because by the way, CBP and ICE doesn't they don't release entirely public numbers, but so we're going off of estimates. So let's see, ICE. Oh shit. Okay, I was a little bit wrong about this. I wasn't 100% sure. ICE has significantly. Let's see here. Let's see. ICE agents in Texas right now. Around 1,400
Okay, so about half.
for
Okay.
for 1/10. So, do you think that those numbers work or not?
In terms of working, I mean, I'm glad you brought the numbers. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That adds some context to the conversation.
So that's pretty fucking unbalanced,
So,
huh? That's fucking wild.
Yeah, I mean, 1,500 give or take. I don't think that's. I mean, if you're going to talk about a city focus, sure, because it's just Minneapolis focused. I'm sure it's not the whole state of Minnesota, right? It's just Minneapolis, right? These agents are just working in Minneapolis.
Well, Minneapolis and the surrounding areas, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Okay, good. Just checking. Okay. I think a lot of it has been with a lot of the. If I was to take a guess, I would say it's been the tone of Minnesotans in how they are.
Wait a second. I'm sorry. I thought. Hold on. No. Time out. I thought that
Can
you
I
were.
give you an
no.
answer or
Yeah,
no?
hold on. No, because wait a
Okay.
second. So you're saying that they're sending them there because of the tone of protesters?
Yeah, I would say it's more hostile in Minneapolis, Minnesota than it is anywhere in Texas at this time.
Got it. So they're sending them there to punish them politically.
No, I
Yes.
think it's there just to increase numbers.
So
Right.
it's literally retribution.
No.
Yes.
I don't think it's retribution.
Sure it
I
is.
think it's just if you wanna basically
Yeah, it's
I mean,
retribution.
just from what I've seen,
That's
right?
literally
if
what you just
protesters
explained.
wanna just disrespect law enforcement the way they have, and we
Disrespect
feel like
is
we
disrespecting law enforcement against the law. Is it against your First Amendment? Is that not allowed
Do
in
you-
America?
do you think just throwing snowballs at police is something we should do?
Oh my God, snowballs!
Yeah,
Oh
mean,
my
I'm just
God.
asking. I'm just asking.
No, not snowballs.
Yeah, again, so do you think that? Yes or no?
Do I think that people deserve to be unalived because
That's
they
not
threw
my question
snowballs
I
or
asked.
tear gas? No. And do
That's
I
not my
think?
question I asked.
Yeah,
I asked if you think we should throw snowballs at
I
law
really don't
enforcement.
care.
Okay.
Yeah.
you don't
So,
have an
anyways,
answer.
no.
You don't
I
have an
know.
answer.
I do
Okay,
have an
great.
answer. I do have an answer. I don't care.
You're- okay.
That's my answer. And by the way, sending more law enforcement in just because there are protests and you don't like it, and the law enforcement that you send in is more ICE agents that can't enforce the law against U.S. citizens, that just means you're doing it to intimidate them. You're not working with the governor of the state and going, hey, we need to bring the temperature down. Let's get the National Guard out on the streets. Let's work with you. Let's bring things down. Tim Walz, because Tim Walz publicly went out and said, Mr. President, let's bring the temperature down. Work with me. Let's try to calm people down. Let's use less violent rhetoric. Let's try to calm things down. If the governor went to the president and said that publicly, why can't the president of the United States come back to him and say, yes, absolutely, let's do that? They could actually send the National Guard out to do their real job, which would be to help keep the peace. They could make sure that the protests remain peaceful. They could do all of those things. And the National Guard, by the way, has been activated, but that's only because Minnesota is trying to keep things peaceful. The federal government is doing nothing but amping shit up. Sending more ICE agents in doesn't help anything. The only thing that it does is antagonize people more, because ICE agents don't help fix the problem. They just make it worse. Do you understand that?
Yeah, what I'm hearing from you is that you were not against National Guard, now you are, and you're saying that it's for them to enforce peace. Are you saying all the
shit, dude? You
are you
literally
saying all
weren't
the
listening. You
protests
literally
are not
weren't
peaceful right
listening.
now?
You literally weren't listening to what I said, and you have zero
I was.
understanding. No,
I
okay,
was.
all right, then
So
I'll.
you don't
All right,
think the
all right,
protests are
dude. All right,
peaceful?
all right. Allow me to
Wow me.
bring. Oh, now you're gonna make fun of me, you little fucking moron. Allow me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Allow me to fucking reel it back and explain it to you because you're so fucking stupid. Allow me. When I talked about the National Guard before, I was talking about the president federalizing the National Guard and sending them to cities where they didn't want them, you fucking idiot. That's the difference in the situation that we're talking about with them versus the governor of the state trying to send them in to keep the peace. That's what I'm talking about. And the only reason that I'm talking about them in this regard in terms of keeping peace is under the guise of your situation. You're saying they're sending them in to try and deal with the protesters. I am saying that they should send in the National Guard to help keep the peace. I'm not saying that they're violent. I'm saying keep the peace in general, as a generalized term. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. You are taking the mental leaps of a fucking... I'm not going to say it. I can't even believe that you are able to operate on this level, dude. You've taken everything that I've said and just purposefully misunderstood it.
Well, he's not applimenting himself correctly.
You should
Matt, I think
really,
is the issue.
I know, you should really try to applyment yourself harder because
You
I
really
don't,
should.
I don't understand, dude.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to understand what you're saying, and judging by
We
your
know
tone,
that you don't
you're
understand. I know,
suggesting
dude.
that-
It's get it. We get it. We
Hey,
don't. We know you don't
relax.
understand what I'm
Relax,
saying.
dude.
If you tone police me again, I'm just gonna drop you. We know that you don't understand what either of us is saying. Okay, because you literally just tried to say that I was saying something that I didn't say, and you literally didn't understand it, or you purposefully misunderstood it, which is even funnier, to be quite honest. I can see where that Texas education has gotten you.
Dude, you can try to insult me all you want. It doesn't make you a better person.
It literally does.
So you don't think the riots are peaceful, so that's why we
No,
need the
but
National Guard out
first
there.
of all, no, shut the
Erica,
fuck up.
I was
No,
No.
no, you weren't.
yeah, I was
So-
talking.
No, you weren't.
Yep.
You're mistaken. You weren't.
Oh, you're mistaken.
So what they're actually doing is protecting the people of Minnesota from ICE. They
Oh,
are.
is
They
there-
are.
are they
keeping-
going to get in the way of an
Matt was-
arrest?
I'm sorry. Matt was right. They are keeping the peace. They're keeping the peace so that the people of Minnesota don't get needlessly unalived by ICE. Correct.
Yeah, what do you think ICE is not keeping the peace, or do you think the citizens of Minneapolis are not keeping the peace?
Sorry. How many ICE agents have been pew-pewed in the face by residents of Minneapolis?
Oh, I don't know how many.
And how many residents of Minneapolis have been pew-pewed in the face by ICE?
Yeah, I asked how many on the first one, but you can give me
I-
both numbers now. I can handle both. Go ahead. Just give me both sides.
Well, the number of ICE who have been pew-pewed in the face by residents of Minnesota is at 0. And the number of Minnesota residents who've been pew-pewed in the face by ICE, it currently stands at 1. So yeah, it sounds to me like it's ICE who are being violent.
Oh, okay. And how many encounters do you think ICE has on a daily basis?
Encounters with who?
The
People who
public,
work-
just
people
everything
who-
in general.
People who work at gas stations, undocumented migrants. What?
I
like-
mean, right. I know you can handle a general question. So how many encounters do you think?
what?
Probably
I'm-
thousands, right? That's the answer.
Well, that
I'll
means
walk
that-
you to the water.
I'm sorry.
I'll walk you
I'm
to the
sorry.
water
That
and let you
also
drink it.
means Cheddars. That also means thousands of Minnesotans are having encounters with ICE every day. Because in order for them to encounter somebody, that person also has to encounter them. Your logic is not logicking, sir.
No, I think it is. It's the fact that you're taking one example and trying to apply it to 1,000 different scenarios and saying, yeah, that's the standard. They're inciting this. That's their agenda. That's all you're trying to do.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry. Were the people of Minneapolis out on the street protesting before ICE got there then, and ICE have just turned up, and they were already protesting? It's nothing to do with ICE. The people of Minneapolis were just protesting just because it's a Tuesday. Why not?
I'm sorry, you want to repeat that?
Yeah, I thought that might fly right over your head. So
Yeah, no, you just cut out, but yeah.
I did I cut out, Matt?
Yeah,
No, I
everybody
didn't
has
think
different
so.
connections, but it's okay.
Oh, you've got MAGA Mobile. I get
Oh
it.
no,
I
you
get it.
Brits just don't get it.
Was-
Well, that's very clever of you, doing an Australian accent. Congrats.
So what's up? So yeah, so again, I mean, so we're saying ICE is inciting this violence when we have thousands of other interactions that don't end that way. So
Right,
if I had to
exactly.
look
So
into
there
the
are
side
thousands of
theirs-
exactly. So there are thousands of other interactions where Minnesotans encounter ICE and they don't end in violence. Exactly. So the Minnesotans aren't the ones that are causing violence.
Right, but
There you
but
go. Thank you.
just said
Exactly.
they aren't peaceful protests.
No, that's not what I said. I never said that, and you've taken something that I said and you've decided it meant something else. All I said was keeping the peace. Because I said that the National Guard is there to keep the peace. As in keeping the peace, as in remaining peaceful. Not
Right.
quelling violence. Not going back to peace. Not returning
so
to
do
peace.
you-
I said keep the peace. Keep
And
the
so
peace.
you
I'm
think
sorry.
ICE
I'm
is
sorry.
just
I just
going
want to say it
around?
one more time because it seems
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
you didn't understand it, and you keep saying that I said something else. So I just want to say it one more time.
Yeah,
Keep
go ahead.
the peace, and so keep would mean remain, right? In terms of the English language, so we know you struggle with it. So keep the peace would mean remain. So you keep saying that I said that they were violent, and I never said that.
So, in order to keep the peace, wouldn't that imply that the peace has been broken?
No, it wouldn't. Not by the protesters. It keep the peace would mean that you want to make sure that the ICE agents aren't able to harm the protesters.
And do you think that their agenda is going around just beating up protesters?
Yes.
And then ever so often thinking,
Yes.
oh, we'll just unalive
I
somebody.
do believe firmly, based on the internal memos that we've seen and based on the things that people like J.D. Vance and Stephen Miller have said publicly, that absolutely their entire agenda is you can do whatever the fuck you want. That's why J.D. Vance said you have absolute immunity. That's why Stephen Miller said the same thing. You have absolute immunity as well. You can do whatever you want, and if anyone gets in your way, you can stop them by whatever means necessary. Stephen Miller said those exact words. We can play you the clip. If you're telling a federal law enforcement officer that they can have absolute immunity and do whatever they want by whatever means necessary, not only are you lying because that's not the law, number one. Number two, you are giving them an invitation to commit violence against people without fear of reprisal, sir.
Do you think that all ICE agents go through standard training?
No, actually, they don't.
That
Actually, they don't.
dictates what they
No,
would
actually,
do?
they don't, because what they've done now is they've cut the ICE standard training down from 6 months to 47 days. So, no, most of the ICE agents that we are seeing now out on the street have not gone through full standard training.
Do you think that that's not full standard training in 47 days? Or
It
they've
is
condensed
absolutely
it?
not full standard training because we know that full standard training is 6 months. I don't know
Was.
what's going on, but you have some weird noise happening right now with your. I don't know if you're doing
Yeah,
something.
and sometimes get disconnected.
No, you didn't get
No,
disconnected.
you're not disconnected.
You were doing
There's
something weird.
Something weird happening next to your microphone. But no, it's not. Normal training is 6 months for ICE, and they've cut it down to 47 days. And the reason that they've done that is because they're trying to get as many ICE agents out onto the street as quickly as possible.
I mean, that's your opinion. I think
It's
they're
not my
definitely trying to turn
opinion.
them
That's a
around.
fact. We know that they've cut the training time down. Why would they cut the training time down and brag and put out press releases about how many ICE agents they've gotten out on the street? They've put out press releases bragging about it. If they're bragging about how many ICE agents they've put out in a short period of time, it's clear that that was their goal. Why do you put out a press release bragging about something as an organization if you don't want people to notice that's what you're doing?
Again, I think it's to show force, to show everybody that we have the law enforcement available
Exactly.
to handle this.
You want to
Terrorism.
intimidate them. It's terrorism. You
Right.
just keep explaining our point. Very good, Cheddars. You've literally walked face first into the glass door of the point.
Again, this is your definition, not mine. So.
No, it's not my definition. It's the Oxford English Dictionary definition that is recognized as terrorism.
So when police officers come out to disperse a crowd with force, right?
No,
with
that's
riot
different
shields,
because
is
police.
that
No,
not
no,
intimidation?
it's not. It's not.
Oh, it's
no,
not?
no.
Why?
I can explain exactly why that's different. Because when police come out, number one, they're serving a simple public function, and that's not simply to serve a political aim as a group. We may not agree with the fact of what they're doing, and we may not like the tactics that they're using, but it's not to serve a political end game. What you have literally kept describing over and over and over, because you keep saying it over and over and over, is that they are trying to intimidate people. You keep saying it. That's the point. That's the end part. That's the political aim. It's all three things together. Political intimidation, it's violence and intimidation against civilians with a political aim. You put all of those together, what do you get? Terrorism.
So ICE is there to carry out a duty, right? In arresting folks, right? What's the difference between them and police? You just said
I
they're carrying out a
literally
duty as
just
well.
explained to you a political aim. You're the one who keeps saying it. Why are they
Is
bragging?
immigration enforcement
Why are they
political, or
bragging
is that a
of?
law?
Yes, it's political. Yes, it's political.
Or is it a law?
It's political. No, it's political.
It's a law.
It's political.
Oh, what law is it, Cheddars?
Immigration law? Well, there's a lot
Which
of laws
one?
around immigration.
Which one?
But it's a law,
Yeah,
right?
but which law? We've already established that you know fuck all about law.
Okay, so you know that immigration law exists, correct? Right. Thank you. Again.
Which
Thank you
one?
for
Which
acknowledging
law?
that.
What law
It
are we
doesn't
talking
matter.
about?
We know
Oh, it
there's
doesn't
laws that
matter.
exist,
Erica, it
correct?
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Matt, it's the
We
one.
know
with
there's
the,
laws that
I'm
exist.
sorry, Cheddars. Matt, it's the one that he's talking about, I believe.
It's like a
Is there's a specific one with the applyment clause.
it's like a Friends episode. The one with the applyment clause.
Yeah, it literally is.
Yeah. So we know there's laws around immigration.
We do?
Which they're enforcing.
We really?
We know
Which
there's
one?
laws that
awesome.
police also
Which one is
enforce,
ICE? Which one?
correct?
Awesome. Which law is ICE enforcing?
right. So that's
awesome.
my
Which
point.
law is ICE
Thank you.
enforcing? Yeah. What?
Thank you.
Your
So if a police officer
your
group
point
comes out
Your
with,
point.
with
I'm sorry. Your point is which law is ICE enforcing? Your point is that you don't know which law ICE is enforcing. That's interesting.
my point is we have laws around immigration which ICE are carrying out.
Which are what?
Which you stated.
Which are what? Oh, I didn't state anything. I want the specific laws.
But police in riot gear.
Anyways, I'm still waiting for the specific laws that.
Yeah. Anyways, it's funny.
Anyways, it's funny that you don't know any of this shit.
Dude, it doesn't matter if I have to quote a
It
law. for you
doesn't
to feel better.
matter. Oh, Erica, this guy's so
The
funny.
point is that you said that law enforcement, police.
Anyway, I'm going to request that Cheddars stop calling himself Cheddars, which, by the way, is a British cheese made in and around the town of Cheddar. I don't know why Americans keep stealing our words. You need to stop it.
Okay. Thanks for the super I guess
Go on, think of the words.
attitude
Go
to
on.
this conversation.
Go on,
That
think
was
of the
such a
words.
profound add to this
I know
conversation. You did
words are
such a
tricky
great
for
job
you.
with that.
I know words are really tricky for you. Go
So,
on.
Good job.
as I was saying, right? Police are
Matt,
terrorists
I
with
just
your
wanna,
logic.
Matt,
Yeah.
Erica, you can do this all day. It doesn't
Um,
bother me. I'm bigger than you. It doesn't bother me.
how
I'm
so?
living way above you.
How's cool story? How's are you bigger than me? Height wise, weight wise? What are we talking about here?
I don't give a damn what you look like.
Because
I'm above all your little childish
absolutely-
games, but it's okay.
You're absolutely not bigger than me intellectually, Mr. Applyment. Today you are king of whataboutism, is what you are.
But anyway, so
came up because I
so
wanted
police
to-
are
Oh,
terrorists.
hang on. Oh, no, hold on one second. I'm sorry. Our friend. Hey, Crow, how are you doing, bud? You can't...
I actually only came up for one purpose. I would like to hear more about this delicious sounding town of Cheddar because fuck, jeez, like I didn't even know that was a place, and now Erica has opened a world of opportunity by naming a delicious sounding town.
Yeah, it's in Somerset, where they all speak like that. It's very. There's also Cheddar Gorge that you can go to. It's very beautiful.
Oh.
Everyone should visit Cheddar and the surrounding area. It's absolutely beautiful, and the cheese is good too. So we know that this country's dairy is amazing.
It tracks because, like, if I learned anything from the show The Boondocks, it's that white people love cheese. All right, like
Yeah.
it's the
Oh,
fundamental universal truth.
And just as a I'm now a tourist information centre, just so everyone knows. If you do happen to be in the area of Cheddar, please do go and visit Wookiee Hole. Wookiee Hole is an entire thing that you must go and visit.
Oh, real quick, thank you to Tammy on the Blue App. Thank you, Tammy. There's two from you. Tammy says these are the people that ICE are detaining and deporting. The ones that Applyment already dipshit. And Tammy also said, ICE are the violent ones. National Guard are there to protect citizens from ICE. It only gets violent because of ICE. Thank you very much, Tammy. We appreciate your generosity and absolutely echoing the same points that we were already making.
Can I just say, for the benefit of the comments, there are no Wookiees up Wookiee Hole. Wookiee Hole was a thing before Wookiees were a thing. Okay, I just need to make that very, and it is not the whole of a Wookiee, which is another misconception that I'm seeing in the comments.
I feel like Wookiee Hole sounds like a very specific website that will get you flagged on a work computer.
So Cheddars, it's really interesting that you really have just continued to repeatedly say that they're sending more ICE agents in because the Trump administration and the government wants to intimidate people, right? We've acknowledged the fact that there's violence happening, and we've acknowledged the fact that there's unlawful things happening, but you just kind of keep want to like excuse what's happening. I don't understand really anymore.
Yeah. So I'd like to just say on this note, I'm gonna have to come back. I'm gonna have to jump for a work call, but it's been fun up here for a little bit. I think you guys have a very different perspective and live in a constant state of fear than I.
Nah, we really don't. We just actually use our fucking brains, and we have information, and you have none. You're just using the fucking little fear center in your amygdala, and you really don't understand what you're doing, and you're a little scared white guy in Texas, and basically you live in fear the entire time. You're scared of brown people, and you think that everywhere else in the Democrat cities and the Democrat states and whatever the fuck it is. So you live scared down there in Texas, and you keep doing it, bud, and we'll see you another time. Maybe learn a fucking thing and read a fucking book sometime.
I'd say the people that are scared all the time are the ones that are sending thousands of ICE agents into a place that has relatively few undocumented migrants. It sounds to me like they might be the scared ones.
I agree, and I bring this up whenever we discuss this topic. I literally live in a sanctuary city that's been a sanctuary city since 1978. Like, when people talk about migrants as if they're some weird group, that's my neighbors. That's the people I pass on the street. That's the fucking bakery that I go to that makes pan de agua that I'm fucking obsessed with. Like, they're not some strange, far-off concept to those of us that just grew around them. It's just a fucking dude down the block. Like, so when people lash out about migrants, I take it personally because I'm like, you're lashing out at my neighbors. Don't lash out on my neighbors.
Yeah, no, 100%, dude. W's for our friend Crow. I'm gonna bring you back down for now. But by the way, I want to mention for those of you who don't know, Crow. Everyone should be following our friend Crow. Joined up on Discord as well. Crow disseminates so much great information, and we really appreciate it. And so I strongly, highly recommend that if you're not following our friend Crow, that you should be. And so I couldn't recommend it more. Tons of great information from our friend. So
how dare you say nice things about me and make me feel things in the place where my heart should be.
Shut the fuck up. Get out of here. Go away. Yeah, there you go. How about that? Is that nice?
Can I say, especially follow Crow if you're in the situation where you think you might be entitled to some kind of government benefits, because he's actually helping people to claim what they're entitled to. So
absolutely,
if you're in that position, absolutely follow Crow.
Crow, drop another comment, please, down in the chat, so that if there's anyone else who wants to follow you, that'd be great. Whatever, dude. Hi, did you vote for Donald Trump?
I did.
Cool. How old are you and what state did you vote in?
62, and I'm in Connecticut.
Okay. Do you want to discuss one of the subjects above or something else that Donald Trump is doing right now?
Well, I was just listening to the conversation, and I actually looked up, and Texas in 2025 leads the country in deportations at 24% of the entire country, because they do have a lot more immigrants there, obviously. And so the doesn't really matter how many ICE agents are down there or not. They lead the country in deportations.
They lead the country in deportations because they get to count all of the people that they yeet from the border, even if they've only been here for a short period of time. Those still count. So that's why.
Oh, okay. so we don't count those. Okay.
I'm sorry. Did you miss the part where I said that there's 1.5 million undocumented people in Texas versus 130,000 in Minnesota? But there's still twice as many active ICE agents in Minnesota right now versus in Texas, which seems like a gross misallocation of resources if we're actually trying to get rid of undocumented people.
Well, clearly we're having an easier time in Texas.
Clearly we're not, because there's 1.5 million of them in Texas and there's only 130,000 in Minnesota.
Right.
Right, exactly. So it seems like the greater issue is in Texas.
Right.
Yep.
So
anyways, on a per capita basis, your numbers don't match up at all. And the problem is in Texas, and it's very clear that they're just trying to be punitive against Minnesota.
yeah. So
yeah. I know numbers are funny like that. It's like kind of like fuck your feelings. It's just like the numbers are the numbers, right? I know it's crazy.
No, I'm really glad you brought up per capita because if you look up the habeas corpus cases in immigration court, it's less than 1% of deportations in 2025, and since 2020, it's less than 1% of deportations since 2020. So
hang on, what's
what?
less
What
than,
is?
hold on,
No,
hold on.
no.
Let me finish.
No,
Let me finish.
whatever. When you okay, I just want to point something out to you.
Can I finish first?
No, you can't because none of us know what the fuck you're saying. And this is why. Let me explain. Because when you say it's less than 1% or it's less than 1% of what?
Deportations.
You need to tell us. No, yeah, but what do you mean? What is less than 1% of the deportations?
The habeas corpus cases in immigration court is less than 1% of deportations for the last 12 months. And it's been that way since 2020.
Why does that matter?
If there are all these rights violations, then then there should be a big spike in habeas corpus cases in immigration court per capita.
No, because that's not true. Because what you're assuming is that if there are offenses taking place, that all of these people suddenly have more access to legal counsel, which they don't. That's so dumb, and trying to say that that's a thing is fucking ridiculous. Oh, hey guys, by the way, all of these people that normally don't have access to legal rights suddenly have a bunch of access to legal. Oh, no, dude, absolutely not. Cool story, though.
Matt,
you can file a case anytime you want in immigration.
I'm sorry.
Sure, bud. Yeah, okay.
You have to have access to a lawyer.
You need a lawyer, you idiot.
But also, Matt, can you tell me if, for example, if I came to the US as an undocumented person, and I was caught and deported, very quickly. Can I assert my habeas corpus rights to stay inside the United States from outside the United States? Is that possible?
No.
That's crazy.
No, the only thing that you can do is if you have money and if you're wealthy, you can hire an immigration attorney to try and plead your case. That, like, if you think that you might have some legitimate reason to gain access in the United States, you could do that. But even then, that's A, it's super expensive, and B, oftentimes not going to work. Some fucking poor migrant who's getting deported from the United States has access to none of that. So no, those things are not just going to automatically spike just because.
You can hire you can reach out to the ACLU.
Okay, cool. So got it. So because ICE is just letting all of these people get phone calls and have access to legal and they're being super helpful with all of that, right? By the way, at the same time that you're saying that if there were increases in the infringement on their rights, they would have access to more rights.
No, not to more rights. If you got your rights violated, you would go right to court, and that's not happening.
If you got your rights violated, you would go right to court, except for the fact that we literally know it's not happening because of the fact that there have been Supreme Court cases that have proved that it's not happening.
Okay, so where's the spike?
I literally just said that we've proved that there are Supreme Court cases that show that it's not happening, that people are literally just being whisked away without going to court.
Okay, so immigration lawyers are just watching this happen and they don't want to work.
Immigration lawyers aren't watching things happen. I'm very good friends with an immigration lawyer who's going to be on this live stream next week. Immigration lawyers don't just sit around and like stand outside of ICE detention centers. And then, by the way, even if they did, ICE doesn't just let them in. You don't get to go into ICE detention centers. Even when people are hired by the family of somebody that they think has been taken, ICE doesn't let them in to see them. That's been a big part of the problem. So what you're saying is that somehow when people are taken by ICE, that their families should know, they should have the means to hire an immigration attorney, and ICE does the right thing and allows them to see their immigration attorney, which none of those things are happening. But
You're
magically
making that
in
up.
your, I'm making it up? Awesome.
You're making
Then I
that
would
up.
love, awesome. Then I would love for you to show me examples of ICE granting access to immigration attorneys on the regular.
Show me that they're not.
No, I can't prove a negative. You're
See?
claiming that they're granting rights to people. I can show you
See?
Supreme Court cases that literally prove that the government is not giving due process by a 9-0 decision on the Supreme Court. I can prove that. Can you
Well,
prove the
that-
other?
Well, that would seem to be a rights violation.
Lawyers allege Department of Homeland Security is denying legal counsel to Minnesota detainees.
Damn.
Awesome. So that seems like another rights violation.
I know it seems like you can't prove.
Right?
It seems like you can't prove what you're saying.
You cannot prove that the cases are spiking.
I don't. Is this guy okay, Erica? I don't think.
No.
You
No.
just keep saying the same thing. You keep saying you can't prove that the cases are spiking, and we keep explaining to you that the reason that the cases aren't spiking is because they're not getting legal counsel to do so.
Okay.
You keep laughing, and we're proving it to you in real time. Can you give us
Okay.
any source that would back up your assertion?
My assertion is they are not spiking.
I know we get your assertion. Can you provide us a source or proof?
That they're not spiking?
Okay. I'm going to try this from a different angle because you
it's
seem to
a-
be. I understand, dude.
it's a very
I understand, dude. You're
it's a
older.
very
I understand,
simple
dude.
thing
Yeah, I
to look
understand. You
up.
grew up with a lot of lead paint. I get it. It's a very simple
It's
thing. I
very
understand. Hey,
easy
bud.
to look
Hey,
up
bud.
the
I get it.
number.
I get it. I get it. I understand.
Very easy to look
I
up.
understand. I get it. I understand what you're saying. I'm so sorry. I've already said that. Now it's my turn. I understand what you're saying. I have already explained to you that for cases to spike, it would require legal representation because you would need a lawyer to file those cases. And Erica and I have now provided multiple sources that would back up our claim that would show you that people are not being given the actual opportunity for legal representation. Additionally, if the claim is that rights are being taken away, it is harder for people to have legal access. That is what is being said and being proven in real time because we are seeing it. Additionally, the Supreme Court has said and has ruled definitively due process is not being given. The Supreme Court has said that. So unless you can prove that due process is being given definitively, we have a Supreme Court that says otherwise that proves you wrong. So I'm so sorry to break this to you, but you are wrong.
That's not true.
Cool. Then what was Nome versus Kilmar Abrego Garcia in the 9-0 decision where the Supreme Court literally said due process was not given? What does that mean?
So
What
due
does that mean
process,
where due process wasn't given?
his rights were violated?
Awesome. Fantastic. So you agree that ICE violated the due process rights of that man, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. So now we've shown you one that went all the way to the Supreme Court. Eric has
Right.
shown you another one where it says that migrants are not getting rights to legal access, correct?
Right.
Cool.
Right.
Also, there are multiple other Supreme Court cases and federal judge cases where they're saying that ICE is not providing proper due process rights to people.
Correct.
So we've now proven that ICE is not given due process on a number of different occasions. It's become a trend that ICE is not giving proper due process. We agree.
We agree.
Fantastic. And you're saying, and hold on, so you're saying, but why aren't cases spiking? Literally, if due process isn't being given, is your right to counsel, or at least your right to maybe have access to counsel, part of due process? Your right to speak to somebody, is that part of some sort of limited due process?
Correct. And it's
Fantastic.
0.5
So if
it's
that's part of due process and that's being trampled on, how would you have the opportunity to further your legal case if that is being trampled upon?
It's 0.5% of deportations.
Dude, I don't even know. Like, you just seem to be too dumb for this conversation. I think we're just going to have to move on. You just keep saying that it's. I don't know, Erica. If you want to, I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
What to
I
do.
just want. What's your source? Whatever.
It's easy to look up.
Okay, so if it's easy to look it up and tell me what your source is.
It's easy to look up. I'm not going to do your homework for
No,
you.
no. It's not my homework. It's your homework. This is
No,
what
it
you're-
isn't. I already did my homework.
Okay. So, just so that everybody knows, when you're debating, if you make a positive claim, it is your responsibility to back up that claim. Now, I've just gone and looked, and what I found was that habeas corpus immigration cases are up 75% in 2025.
Exactly.
So no, that's up 75%. So you're
Correct.
saying there's no spike in habeas corpus cases, and there is.
No, I didn't say that. You weren't listening to me. What I said was the percentage of deportations, percentage of habeas corpus cases on a percentage basis.
So give me your source. Give me your source.
The only way that you
Give
can
me your source.
The only way that you can look at it rationally.
Give me your source. By the way, this guy asked me who I voted for in the comments, and I very clearly told him multiple times that I wrote in his mum. But he didn't want to take that. So I'll just say it again now that you're here. I wrote in your mum. And when I say I wrote in your mum, I mean that I was physically inside and I wrote. Okay?
Damn. ICE detainees have already filed more habeas petitions than in all of 2025 now. Shit. Talk about a spike now. Damn.
Correct.
Jeez.
But you have to do it per deportation.
No, I'm sorry. You don't get to talk until you tell us
Yeah,
your
we want
source.
your source. We don't. Your number means nothing. You're just making shit up now. Oh no,
Somebody
what's
in the
your
comments-
source?
Somebody in the comments earlier, I'm sorry, go find your source. Somebody in the comments earlier said, and they say British people can't cook. Which I screenshot that. I did a screenshot of that comment. I'm very into it. Anyway, have you got a source yet? Whatever.
Do your own homework.
No,
No.
it's your homework again.
See, this is how we know that you're lying about your number, is because you don't
Okay,
actually have a
sure,
source. Yeah,
sure.
sure.
'Cause-
Exactly.
'cause-
No, because you're
Because
lying.
you won't look it up.
No, it's not because we won't look it up. It's because you're lying about it. It's because
No, I'm not.
No, you're lying.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Show me what the deportations was.
I did. I looked it up and I
Refute
found.
it.
I looked it up and I found a different number. Who's right?
No.
I looked it up. I
we-
found a different number. Who's
Matt,
right?
Matt,
Nope.
Matt.
Whatever. Show me your source, or you're just lying.
Matt, we agree that
Whatever.
the cases have gone up
I thought you just said
But-
that they didn't spike.
on a percentage basis of deportations. They have not
Did
changed.
deportations go up in 2025 or down in 2025 from 2024?
So the last
Did deportation?
num-
No, it's simple. Up or down? Did they go up in 2025 or down in 2025 from 2024? Simple.
They
Up or
went
down?
up in the last month that we had reported.
No, they were down.
70,000.
Yeah, they were down from 2024.
70,000 in the last month.
Yes,
that we
they
reported.
were down overall from 2024. So even on a percentage basis, which I still don't really know what you're trying to say there, there's still more in 2025 than in 2024, no matter how you want to slice the data. So the numbers increased in 2025. By the way, still want to see your source, because I still think that you're just making shit up at this point.
Okay.
You
Why
can.
don't you look it up?
I already did, and you're lying.
Why don't you look it up?
I
and
already did,
educate
and you're
yourself?
lying. What's
No,
that?
You're not.
Yeah, it's okay, but listen, I understand that you're coping real hard right now because you've been called out on your bullshit, and also your logic doesn't hold up at all. So, do you want to just move on to something else now that you've been caught in lie?
Yeah, look it up.
I did. You're lying.
0.5%. 0.5% of deportations. Look it
You
up.
said one. You said 1% before.
No,
you
I said less than 1%.
But
Please
why?
listen.
But why would you say less than 1% if it's 0.5? Can you give us the source?
It's
I don't know whether it's
0.5%.
0.6,
Anyone
0.7,
can look it up.
0.3.
It's very
I
simple.
looked it up and
It's very
I couldn't
simple.
find. I looked it up, Poppet, and I couldn't. I brought out the Poppet. I couldn't find it. So I need you to tell me your source so I can check it.
You need to have better sources then.
You can't say you need to have better sources when I can't find a source, full stop, that either agrees or disagrees with you. So what you could do, and the only reason, by the way, that you would not be doing this is because you don't have a source.
No.
What you could do is tell me the source.
No, so whatever source I would put out there, you're going to say, oh, that's not a source. So use your sources to find out.
I
the number.
can't find. I don't know how to explain this.
Exactly.
I don't know how to explain
Exactly.
this. Whatever. I can't find a
You
source.
can't find what the
I love-
percentage.
I love Erica. I love how fucking amazingly convenient this is. When we're like, he's like, find the source, and we're like trying to find the source because now I'm just supremely interested. Now I'm just like beyond the point of him being a total fucking dipshit. Now I'm just like interested, right, Erica? So I'm like trying to find it, and then we're like, we can't find the source, and he's like, exactly. Like that's some like big thing, like as if the fact that we can't find the source that you say is readily available is some type of own. Bro, you're suggesting that this is readily available information and we can't find it. So why don't you just fucking tell us where the information is?
I can't even believe you can't find that.
Then
That's
tell us
so
where it
basic.
is. Just tell
No,
us the
use
source.
your
Oh my
sources.
God.
Use your sources. You can't even find.
I can't with this guy. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Can we, Matt?
I'm definitely clipping this. I can't believe this guy. It's so
You're
easy
like-
to find, but I can't believe you
all
can't
the so-
find it. But it's so easy to find.
have all
It definitely exists, and I'm
sources.
definitely not lying to
Find
you.
I can't find.
I know. You're so dumb.
I can't.
Dude, if this is the debate tactic that you use with other people and like somehow it works, like somehow they just like move on and they let you cite random numbers without actually fucking sourcing shit just because, like, I don't know. I guess good job if that works for you with other people, but fuck, dude. This is dumb. Like, it's not there. So either tell us the source or just get the fuck out of here.
I'll educate you. I'll send you a message.
No, don't send me a message. Tell me the
Yeah,
source
no, I'm
right
just-
now. No, there's 1,200 people here. Don't run away like a little bitch. Tell me the source right now. Don't send me a message. Don't get it to me later. Tell us right fucking now because we know you don't have it.
If anyone wants to know the source,
He's lying. He
Just
doesn't
met.
have shit. He's going to run
Just
away
met.
because he doesn't have a fucking source. He doesn't have a fucking source. He's lying. Then say it right now in
give
front
it
of
to you.
1,200 people. Say it.
I'll give it to you.
Good.
Message me. I'll give it to you.
Oh, message me. You won't say it in front of 1,200 people because you don't
I'll
have
give
it.
to you.
Give it to
I'll
us
give
right
it to
now.
you.
Right now.
No, I'll message you.
I tell you what, Matt.
Turn your camera on. Whatever. Turn your camera on. We want to see your face. Turn your camera on.
For what reason?
Because I asked you to.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You're a little bitch. You're
Sorry,
scared.
I'm married.
I know. You're a little bitch. It's fine. You're scared. And
Sorry, I'm married.
I know you are. It's fine. We know that you got a boyfriend on the side and you use Grindr like everyone else in the RNC. But anyways. Anyways.
Ooh, good one.
I know. But the real thing is that I want everyone in here, all 1,200 people over here on TikTok and the 100 or so people watching on the tube, to understand that the reason he keeps saying that he'll message it is because he doesn't have a source. Because Erica and I have called him out on his bullshit, and because he will not say it. And he keeps saying, I have it, I have it, I have it. If you have it, make us both look stupid right now in front of 1,300 people and say it.
You're not going to believe my source.
Cool. Say it anyways. Even if we won't believe it, say it.
Okay. Grok.
Okay, Grok is your source. Okay, great. If Grok is your source, then Grok would have given you at least some material that, like, it probably cited something. So if Grok cited what did Grok cite to give you that information? Where did the information come from?
I'll go get it.
Thank you. Holy shit.
We could have done this right at the freaking beginning.
We really could have. I mean, Jesus Christ. God damn.
By the way, there's no reason that Grok doesn't have a legitimate source. Generally speaking, the problem with AI searches, if you have a problem with them, is you've asked a biased question, in which case it will come back with a biased answer. But we just need to know where Grok found the information.
You can use Grok and you can ask him this prompt. The prompt
I'm not
is...
using Grok.
I don't use Grok.
I'm not using Grok.
Use
'cause
whatever
Grok-
AI you want.
I just did.
Dude,
What question do I ask?
Ask it what percentage of habeas corpus cases in immigration courts have been in the last 12 months for rights violation.
So wait a second, but after you looked this up, you followed you like did the actual research and you went to the actual source material, because you know as a grown fucking man that AI is often wrong and it pulls incorrect data and says the wrong thing. So you went and looked at the source material for this. I'm sorry, what, Erica?
I need to point something out. What you said was the percentage of deportations based on habeas corpus cases. What percentage? Your question
No, the
didn't
opposite.
ask your
No, the percentage of habeas corpus cases in immigration court for rights violations compared to deportations. It's less than 1%. It's very easy to find.
That's not what you said.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
It's not what you. It is not exactly what you said. You said only less than 1% of deportations are as a result of habeas corpus cases. Is what you said.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
You said you didn't say compared to anything. You have never said the word compared until now.
Not true.
Right, I'm just going to ask everybody, has this guy said the word compared? In fact,
I think Erica, I think at one point earlier he did say that his point was that it hasn't risen since 2024. I think that he did say that I don't know if he would use the word compare, but I think he did say that it was since 2024 that he was trying to make that point. That from Biden, but still it doesn't make any sense. But that's what he was trying to get at. It still doesn't make any sense. Also, I still want to know your source material.
Look it up.
No, dude, I don't understand what part of this is hard to get at.
I gave you my source.
Okay, Grok is AI. That means it pulled the information from somewhere. If you're telling me that you just looked at an AI answer and you didn't find out where that information came from, that means that it's unverifiable.
That's what AI does.
Exactly. It gives you unverifiable information, which is why it's not a trustworthy source. I don't mind if you use AI to look something up, but if you use AI, did you really just fucking take us to the bathroom?
Dude, if you
Get the fuck out of here, you fucking sick piece of shit. Go the fuck away. Fuck you.
I just want to let you all know as well, when you do a search using AI, at the bottom of each piece of information, it will have like kind of like an oval with a gap in the top and the bottom with a little dash in the middle of it. That's the link icon, and that will take you to the source that AI got the information from, and that is available on every single type of AI. It gives you the link to the source, and I'm not surprised that his source was in the toilet, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't I don't understand that. That I don't fucking get it. I that line of fucking logic is just fucking beyond me. It's absolutely fucking absurd. Thank you to Tara on the Blue app. She said 79.78% of statistics are made up. Matt, thank you. It's good to know. Thank you to Luna over on the tube for the super chat. You said just because FDT. Thank you. And thank you to Joanne for the gift of the jewels. Appreciate that. Guys, please continue to support Erica and I. By the way, Erica, I wasn't trying to step on that. I know what you meant. He wasn't like when he said it, when he explained it earlier, he didn't say that like exact thing. He explained it all fucking weird. I understand, but I was like, he did kind of say he was comparing it to 2024, but he explained it fucking weird.
So out of interest, Matt, do you know the total number of deportations that the Trump administration did last year? 2025.
Off the top of my head, no.
Does anyone in the because I feel like it's around 600,000.
That's what I thought.
Can anyone in the comments? Right, so there was 66,000 habeas. I just looked this up because I can do math. Okay, there were 66,000 habeas immigration cases last year. So 660,000. If there was, say there was 660,000 deportations, am I wrong? Is my math wrong? That's 10%.
That would be 10%, give or take, yeah. So
not less than 1%.
No.
Oh, so he can't do decimals? He doesn't know place value? What the hell is going on?
I don't know. Like he just kept saying the same thing. Also, like there's so many like in like there's so many varying reports, by the way, because nobody fucking trusts nobody fucking trusts the numbers. Nobody trusts the numbers that the Trump administration is giving. And so, like, there's a lot of competing information out there, like what is true and what's not. So, like, I don't know, but even if we're assuming that even those higher numbers are correct, his numbers don't jive. Like, it doesn't work. And also, to say that even if that was true, even if that held true, they're not going to automatically be able to file more cases, because inherently, if their rights are being trampled upon, they don't have the access to file said cases. It is
what we're saying is
my head
cases
hurts.
cases are at an all-time high, which they are. There's a ton of news reporting around that. We've just done the math because we can divide by 10 and find out that it's approximately 10%. If it's 700,000 cases, well, it might be 8%, but it's not less than 1%. It isn't less than 1%. And we're also saying that there would be even more habeas cases on top of that if people were able to file them correctly and had access to a lawyer. Hey, Oslo. But in addition to that, the guy can't do fucking math.
Get the source yourself. Get the source. Do it yourself. It's easy to find. Do it yourself. Oh, you can't find it? What's wrong with? Oh God, I can't. Oslo, how are you? Can you please? I have a headache, friend. Can you help?
Well, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? The do your own research crowd asking others to do their research for them again?
I can't. That guy. That hurt my head so much.
I love when the do your own research crowd they have a debate style, which is just asking other people to define words for them.
Oh, we got some words today, Oslo.
We got some words.
We got some words today.
Last night I was talking about I was talking about my proposed slogan, America for All. And the best that I like to say conservative could come up with was, well, what do you mean by American when you say American? Will you define an American for me? He thought he had some big gotcha. I was like, get a dictionary, dude.
What?
Oslo, just very quick. If I do get a dictionary, would I be able to find the word applyment?
No, I don't know. I've never heard of that word before.
No, nor has anybody, apart from the person saying it. We've had some words today.
Yeah, we've had some. There've been some special. Let's just say there've been some special folks. Very special.
I think. Well, yeah. So I don't know. Like Vicks Vapor Rub is kind of minty, and I apply that to my chest. Is that? Would you say that I apply mint to my chest when I have a cold?
I like that one. That's good.
I think it's eucalyptus rather than mint.
But it's like
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you know.
Oslo, you want to hang for a guess? You want to hang out for a minute?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool. While we wait for Sebastian here to load in, encourage all of you, as I mentioned the other night, please go and engage with that video that I stitched with Oslo and with Oslo's video. I really like that slogan, America for All, and I mentioned it last night, and I really want I like the proactivity of it, and I like a little bit of pragmatism, so I enjoy it. So let's do that. Sebastian, you're not loading in, so.
Sebastian was begging in the comments, which never bode well.
It really never does bode well. Navy, hi, did you vote for Donald Trump? Navy veteran, hi, did you vote for Donald Trump? Hello? Navy veteran. Okay. I don't believe we've got any other Trump supporters in there. So if you voted for Donald Trump, we'd like you to hop in the box. Friendlies, hang out for me. We're just looking for Trump supporters right now. If we can just get another Trump supporter.
Hey, while we're waiting for Trump supporters, I thought I would. I don't know how I feel about this, so that's why I haven't made a post yet. But I was thinking about, like, especially in Minnesota right now, if you're a part of the Black and brown community in Minnesota, I was starting to wonder if, like, people should put Trump signs in their yard for safety. And I know that's like the reason I'm kind of like, I don't know, because that's like saying like Jewish people should have worn, that symbol on their arm or something. And I don't know how I feel about it, but like, so I'm kind of back and forth on it. Like, if it's something that will keep ICE, if ICE really is going door to door, do you think they'll pass by a Trump sign house? You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of complicated because I don't want to put people in danger in other ways. And I certainly don't want people to, I don't want to make.
Oh. Oslo?
They got you, Oslo.
Oslo. You still with us, bud?
I think Oslo's frozen.
I mean, that is... I'm not gonna lie.
I know.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Like
It
somebody
isn't-
screenshot that. But also,
I was going to say Oslo probably is freezing right now because it's winter and Oslo gets cold.
they got Oslo, you guys. No. Oslo, if you're still here, come back, bud. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that sucks. They got him. Feel free to Oslo. Feel free to come back up, friend. If you're, I think you're still here, but I don't know what happened there. So, feel free.
Debbie, we have not spoken about what Donald Trump said about the NATO military in Afghanistan. Matt and I have spoken privately about that.
Yeah.
And I have used 4-letter expletives. Is all I have to say about that. And we were rather hoping that we might get some bragger up here today. That's British MAGA, to try and defend their lack of patriotism. But we haven't had any. So, but I didn't think that I could be more, and I'm going to use a polite word, I didn't think I could be more disappointed in Donald Trump. Yeah, I am.
Hi, Keegan. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
Doing well. What's happening?
Eating a granola bar. Just popping in.
Oh, that's fine. Good to see you, friend. Captain, hi. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
Cool. How old are you and what state did you vote in?
34 in Arkansas.
Would you like to discuss one of the subjects above or something else that Donald Trump is doing right now?
Yeah, well, before I do that, I just want to let y'all know that my main account was banned. Otherwise, I'd come in here on it. But this is the only one I could actually show up to. So, but yeah, I want to respond on the ICE is a domestic terror group.
Yeah.
I don't believe that because if they're a domestic terrorist group, then fellow law enforcement officers like myself would be in the same category, correct?
No, because what's the definition of terrorism?
What's the definition of terrorism?
Yeah. What's the actual definition of the word?
I don't know the exact definition, but I know my definition.
Well, no offense, but your definition doesn't really matter, nor does mine.
Mine's more of a dumbed down. Like I don't know the exact wording.
I feel you. I'm saying it because I'm not trying to denigrate either of us. I'm saying that we have to have an agreed upon definition of a word, just like with all words, especially like that. So the Oxford Dictionary definition of the word, which is the definition of terrorism that we all go by, is the unlawful use of violence or intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. So, no, being a law enforcement officer doesn't automatically mean that you're engaging in terrorism. But if you fit those categories, then it would mean that you're engaging in terrorism.
Okay, so with ICE doing what they are constitutionally allowed to do, yes, there are some questionable things.
ICE wait, hold on. ICE is constitutionally allowed to break down the door of someone's house without a judicial warrant?
It depends. It depends on that state.
No, it doesn't.
There are such things.
I'm sorry. I'm going to stop you right there. Outside of exigent circumstances, which is not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about exigent circumstances. So, stopping that part of the discussion. This is a federal matter talking about the Fourth Amendment, search and seizure.
Yes.
Under what circumstance, outside of exigent circumstances, okay, and if you're a federal law enforcement officer, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I'm not federal.
Oh, okay, if you're a law enforcement officer, sorry. If you're a law enforcement officer, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Outside
Yes.
of exigent circumstances, under what case could you enter a house without a judicial warrant, sir?
Well, all that, and like I said, we're gonna go back and forth a little bit because there's certain things, circumstances, there's certain other, blah 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 when it comes down to it. But I mean, like even so some states have no knock warrants.
You still have to get a warrant.
Yes, you still have to get.
Yeah,
a
you still
warrant,
have to get
but
a
it
warrant. Exactly.
depends.
So you've proved my point.
Yes, you still have to get a warrant.
There you go.
anytime
You still have to.
enter a residence.
There you go. Thank you.
But
Okay, stop
the
right there.
only
Stop right
time-
there. Stop right there. You still have to get a judicial warrant, right?
Yes.
Cool.
But
Okay.
The only time you do not have to get a warrant is if you are chasing a fleeing suspect.
I literally just said outside of exigent circumstances. I qualified this entire thing at the beginning. I said if you're law enforcement, you understand that's exigent circumstances. What are exigent circumstances? Explain to everybody what exigent circumstances are.
Exigent circumstances would be as if, well, I guess the one that I brought up was an exigent circumstance, but basically, like if someone's fleeing from you, you see them go into the home, go into a vehicle, you have legal right to, remove them from that vehicle or that residence, and to make entry into that residence to catch that fleeing suspect.
And what else?
Oh God, dude, there's a million of them.
There's really not.
No, there definitely is.
No, there's really not.
You saying that there's not a million different reasons for exigent circumstances?
You're a law enforcement officer. There's a couple of really specific ones.
Of exigent circumstances?
Yep.
Committing a felony in the presence of, law enforcement officer. Committing the felony in the presence of law enforcement, actively watching something go down that turns into a from a civil to a criminal offense.
What?
Watching something go down that went from a civil to a criminal defense.
No, that's not a thing. Dude, these are the exigent circumstances, and I know them literally off the top of my head. It's danger to life, or emergency aid. Like if there's something going on and they have to go in and provide emergency help, that's one. Number two is, like you said, immediate pursuit of a fleeing suspect. Like they're pursuing somebody that they know committed a crime, and they go into a private dwelling. Okay, if they know for a fact that there's destruction of evidence happening, and by the way, that one is so fucking hard to prove that they almost never use it, but it is possible to say it, but it's like super fucking hard to prove. Reasonable suspicion.
The only way that one can really be proved is if you but let's say you busted in a door, went to the bathroom, watched them flush something down the toilet.
That's what I'm saying. That's super hard to prove. Then there's another one that would be under the emergency aid that, like, you could say, like, if you need to, like, do something like put out a fire or something like that, which falls under emergency aid. And then the last one would be like if you waited long enough to get a warrant that you were sure the suspect could escape, but that would mean that you couldn't just leave law enforcement there long enough to go get a warrant. And most jurisdictions have judges and magistrates where you can literally go at any day and any hour. Because I actually happen to have a friend who is a magistrate judge here in Boston, and they take turns that they literally have to be on call at all fucking hours of the night, because if somebody needs a warrant, they need to be able to review it and get it to them immediately. So,
yes, 100%, yeah.
Those are the exigent. That's it. Like, I just listed off that covers every single exigent circumstance, basically. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
With ICE doing what they're supposed to do, you're telling me that they don't have exigent circumstances?
They literally just beat down the door of a U.S. citizen without a judicial warrant.
And can you name one?
I literally just said that. You want me to show it to you?
Name one person that they beat down that they didn't have a warrant for.
Sure, no problem. I got you right here. U.S. citizen says ICE took him at gunpoint in only his underwear despite frigid cold and no warrant. Federal immigration officers bashed open a door and detained a U.S. citizen in his Minnesota home at gunpoint without a warrant and then led him out onto the street in his underwear in sub-freezing conditions.
Okay, that was the one I was figuring you were going to pull up. And yes, I will say that every law enforcement agency will make mistakes like that.
Time out.
I'm not backing.
Time out. This is just the main one that I'm showing you. Now we could go back and talk about Chicago. Do you remember hearing about the Chicago raid on the apartment building with the Black Hawk helicopters where they literally rappelled down the sides of the building and bashed in windows and like took U.S. citizens out on the street and all that kind of stuff?
Wasn't there one with a
I haven't heard of that one that I know of.
Wasn't there one with a birthday party as well?
There's the one with the birthday party as well. That was also warrantless. Yeah. Yes. But that's another good one. We can get to that one next. But the one in Chicago, which if you haven't heard about it, is they raided an entire apartment building in the middle of the night. As a law enforcement officer, if you get a warrant and you're going to a specific apartment, how does that work with a warrant for apartments versus an apartment building?
Well, honestly, I don't think any judge would sign off on a whole apartment building. You've got to have reason why you're there, what you're looking for. There's a list of things that it lists on a warrant.
Thank you.
Just like if they were going in for a CP. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. I know exactly because
I'm trying to keep TikTok friendly.
No. I appreciate, and that's child. And I know exactly what you're talking about. My partner's a federal attorney, but you know what? I appreciate you answering that honestly because you're 100% right. You're 100% right. There's basically no federal judge who would just go, you can go into an entire fucking apartment building and
and
raid.
I see where that is wrong 100% because you can't validate or dictate on a warrant for a whole apartment complex. Now, there is with this one might be, which is really not an exigent circumstance, but like let's say that there is a router that people are bouncing off for their Wi-Fi still and something. Then they could go, but they'd have to try and figure out how to find the exact point. They can't just go through everybody's house looking for their computers and shit. That has to be so. When you go in for a warrant and you go to execute that warrant, you have to be able to look at the things that are on that warrant. You can't just bombard an apartment complex and go, you know what? I'm searching your house just because. That's against your constitutional right as a human being.
Well, yes, and so what you're talking about is when you're looking at an apartment building, they weren't allowed to do that. They weren't allowed to go in, and honestly, I encourage you to go in, and I encourage you to read about. I won't pull it up and read it for everyone. Most people here are familiar with it. I just encourage you to go in and read because if you go in and read, you will see that they raided the entire apartment building. And here's the kicker. There were no warrants shown. Not only were there no warrants shown, they've never produced warrants. They've never been able to prove that judicial warrants were issued. Forgetting the fact that what you just said is almost certainly true, which is that a federal judge would never just blanket approve a warrant for an entire apartment building for ICE where they knew that there would be U.S. citizens as well. That would be insane. But assuming that they did, we've never seen that warrant. So when we say, my friend, when we say these things, and it sounds like you want to understand stuff in good faith, and I'm trying to explain to you that this isn't an isolated incident. This is a pattern of trying to operate outside of the law.
Yes.
And if you're a law enforcement officer who cares about constitutional rights and you care about the Fourth Amendment and it sounds like you understand those things and you care about them, you should be concerned about other law enforcement agencies eroding those rights and eroding people's trust in law enforcement.
Yes, and one thing I want to bring up is because I'm watching these comments scroll through and just blow past and everything. When you get trained in law enforcement, there's a difference between city, county, state, and federal. You are trained for the department you work with. City is known for city. County gets county and city. Troopers get, or state police, however you want to call them, they get state, county, and city. So if I am ignorant in something that I say, I would 100% somebody to correct me, because I don't know anything about how the federal government or federal law enforcement can handle things other than the fact that they are law enforcement.
That's okay, man. All right, it's okay.
I-
Don't worry
can
so
I-
much about the comments. Just focus on us. Yeah, Erica. Sorry,
yeah.
please.
I was just going to say, it doesn't sound like me to be I know you were saying about everybody makes mistakes. Sometimes mistakes are made. In order to get a whole ass Black Hawk helicopter, that's on purpose.
Oh,
That's not
Erica.
a mistake.
Erica, hold on, because now they're saying, "Oh, you could read a book." Why would I
No,
read
no, no,
something
no.
on
Stop,
federal
stop
law?
talking to them, Captain. You're not talking to them. Right. The number of times a day I get called a "see you next Tuesday" in the comments. You just have to ignore what see, look, some idiots just said I'm not American. Thanks. Thanks,
Look at that.
Ethan.
Look at that dick down there. Look at that guy.
I know, look at that Canadian saying that I'm not American. Anyway,
No, how did you tell?
you just he knows me.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to tell, because this is a whole ass Mississippi accent. But anyway, that's not a mistake. Getting a Black Hawk helicopter and raiding an entire apartment building when there is no way that legally you would be able to get a warrant to do that. That's not a mistake. That's on purpose.
Erica, to your point, I wanted to bring this up because I think this is important to show that this isn't necessarily a mistake, because what's happened here is that the AP has gotten a hold of an internal memo, and this internal memo basically says, and it gives guidance to ICE that they can enter homes on administrative warrants. And an administrative warrant is not a judicial warrant. Administrative warrants can just be issued by ICE. ICE itself can just issue an administrative warrant. Like they can issue an administrative warrant to say, like, okay, this person is due for deportation, we're going to go arrest them. That's fine. They can do that. They have the legal power to do that. Administrative warrants are not okay to enter someone's home. But to say unilaterally in a memo that they can skirt the Fourth Amendment without going to the Supreme Court, without checking this with constitutional law. And by the way, there is Supreme Court precedent going back quite a long time that says you absolutely have to follow the Fourth Amendment in this case. I think that this is on purpose. If they're putting out internal memos that say skirt the law, don't worry about the Fourth Amendment, just use an administrative warrant, when we all know you need a judicial warrant to do this, I think we're running into problematic areas, don't you think? You think, Captain?
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
were talking to Erica. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
Okay.
talking to you, friend.
Well,
Oh,
I mean, I am a captain as well as a queen. I'm also a major and a 4-star general. So you're kind of correct. But no, he was talking to you.
Okay. Yeah, I thought he was talking to you, so I totally zoned out and was doing something else. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, but did you understand? I mean, but that I'm saying that the ICE their internal memo, they're saying that they can enter houses on administrative warrants that they themselves issue. So
yeah, but there's got to be a reason behind it. I mean, you can't just issue a
Yes.
warrant because you want to. There has to be a reason.
Exactly, except for the fact that ICE, what they can traditionally do is they can issue an administrative warrant for someone's arrest, for an undocumented person's arrest. They can say, this person has a final order of deportation, right? We can go arrest them. We are issuing our own administrative warrant for their arrest. That is completely legal. Okay?
Mhm.
That's fine. So no problem there. I'm not saying they can't do that. They're well within their legal rights to issue administrative warrants. You cannot issue administrative warrants for entry into domiciles. You still need a
Well-
judicial warrant to do that.
Hang on, it depends on circumstance. I mean, it depends on what they're going in for. FBI doesn't have to tell you what they're doing, but they're going to do it anyway.
It doesn't.
As
I
long
didn't
as
say
it
that
is-
they had to tell you what they're doing, but do they need a judicial warrant to do it?
I don't know about federal.
The answer is yes.
If I knew about federal, I'd be able to answer that question, but I don't. I know that anything that city and state does, because that's what I revolve around, we have to have a judicial warrant.
The answer is no different than the answer is no different for you than it is for them. It's all
Well,
the
that-
same.
And you're all subject to the Constitution, which means the Fourth Amendment applies whether you're a city beat cop or whether you are the FBI. The Fourth Amendment still applies.
No, I understand completely. I'm not disagreeing with you guys. I'm just saying, like, you're asking me federal questions. I don't know a lot about federal, how they operate. I've never been to that level. The farthest I've gotten was being a deputy sheriff, and that's where I want to stay because I don't want to get involved with all this other shit. Now, if we are called to assist ICE, 100% we're going to assist ICE.
Okay, that's fine. You can.
But that's what-
But you need to read. But I think that as a law enforcement officer, it behooves you to maybe familiarize yourself with Payton versus New York, decided in 1980, which specifically spells out, and the Supreme Court said that you need a judicial warrant to enter the house. And it also lays out the exigent circumstances that I told you earlier, and it describes in great detail what is allowed and is not allowed, and so it specifically points this out. It also uploads the fact that you can have warrantless arrests in a public place because that's allowed, but it specifically spells out that you need a judicial warrant. So that's Payton versus New York, 1980. And that goes for all law enforcement, top to bottom. It doesn't
Yes.
matter if you're federal, state, local, county, whatever level you're at. So,
And it also depends on what warrant you're going after that. If you get somebody in public and you have a warrant for their arrest, and on that warrant it states, we've got to go back to the residence to look for this, and this, then they're covered if they go back to that house and, do their preliminary search.
Yes.
I have a question though, Captain. You just said a minute ago that if you're called to help out ICE, then you will. If they are doing something that is unlawful, i.e., they don't have a judicial warrant and they are knocking down doors, are you still going to help them?
Ma'am, I know where you're going with this, Erica. 100% I know where you're going with this. Usually, if an outside agency is called in, they're not there to make entry to the house to conduct things with them. They are out there for basically crowd control, blocking roads off, doing whatever we can that does not directly interject with that federal investigation.
But if
So
you are doing crowd control, if you are stopping people from
Mhm.
stopping ICE from doing something illegal,
Mhm.
your job, if I'm not wrong, as a police officer, is to protect and serve the
Mhm.
people who live in the area that you are policing. Yet
Yes.
what you're saying is you will stand by while ICE do the opposite.
It depends on what they're doing. I'm not saying that I'm sitting here, wanting to help out with treason and all this stuff. That's not what's going on. What the problem is that when we go out, which it hasn't happened yet, thank God for me and for all my brothers and sisters in blue in my area, we do not go out with ICE to conduct any type of investigation. We are there to make sure nobody impedes in their investigation.
But
And
hang on a
what people
minute.
don't understand
But
is
what if their investigation is illegal because
then that
they're
is
entering
100
a building and they
that
do
is
not have a warrant?
100% on them. They are there for the investigation, not us. We're there for crowd control.
But you're controlling the crowd that is
Yes.
trying to. No, hang on a moment. Let me finish. You're controlling the crowd that is then trying to who is actually trying to enforce the law by telling ICE that they're not allowed to do that thing. So you're stopping the people that are potentially the ones that are going to be doing the lawful thing by stopping a crime. You're going to be stopping the people that are doing the lawful thing.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and explain this the easiest way I can. Chain of command is a mofo. If they say jump, we say how far. I will
No,
not
that's
put
not
myself
true.
or
That's
my
not
guys.
true.
Hang on. I said
Stop.
100%
No, it
is.
isn't. If your chain of command tells you to do something that is illegal, you are under no obligation to do that. If they are telling you to do something that is beyond the scope of the law, you are within your rights to refuse to do that. Do we not? How do people not know this? And how? And on top of that, how is your how is your moral compass working that you
Listen,
think? No, I'm sorry. How is your moral compass working that when you are told to do something, or if you are told to do something that is beyond the scope of the law or outright illegal, that you're still going to do it because the chain of command told you to?
So basically
listen.
what you're telling me, Captain, is you're seeing something illegal happening, and just because you were given orders to do something, you're just going to let that happen?
Listen, that's why I said there's different circumstances. What I'm trying to explain is if we are called out for an assist, we are only there to assist.
It doesn't
We
matter.
don't
If you
know
see them,
what's
no, if you're
going-
doing, if you
Hold
see
on.
them doing something illegal, you have
Hold
every single
on.
right. It is within your rights to do something about it.
I've got to be able to articulate what they're doing illegal. And if we don't know what they're doing besides us doing crowd control, I can't tell you what they're doing illegal
If you
because
see
I'm not
someone
nowhere near
breaking
them.
in, if you see someone smashing a window and breaking into someone's home, I'm pretty sure you can impede.
As an
I
ICE
just want to
officer
say,
or a criminal?
I'm sorry. I just want to say one phrase, and the phrase is "good Germans." That's the only thing that I'm going to say here is "good Germans."
Keegan, what are you trying to say? Are you
I'm
trying to
saying
say
if you're watching an ICE agent bashing in the windows of somebody's home, you have every right to go over there and figure out what's going on. And if you find out that they are there breaking and entering without a warrant, you are allowed to do something about it.
100%. But if we get briefed on something and we're told we are crowd control or we are doing this or doing that or whatever it may be, that's what we are supposed to do because we are an assisting agency. They are the agency that is doing. They are the
You're
agency
law
that's doing the
enforcement.
investigation. Yeah, we're all law enforcement.
Okay. So
If anybody felt that strong-hearted about it, join law enforcement, and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. It's not as easy as everybody thinks. It's one of the most
Family and
hardest
law
jobs other
enforcement.
than being a paramedic. It's the hardest job in the book because of people that do not understand what we have to do in our channels to make sure we're doing everything right so we're not publicly crucified.
Let me put it another way, Captain, because I do think that the saying maybe the Warren thing, fine, I'll tell you what I'll give you. Maybe you wouldn't know immediately that was an illegal thing because you wouldn't be privy to the warrant status. Fine. I understand that. I'll give that to you. However, you're in a situation where you see ICE escalating violence against protesters in an unwarranted fashion, using tactics against citizens where you live that are needlessly violent.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to stand up for the people in the community where you live, or are you going to stand with ICE?
100%, I'm going to stand up with the community. But SOPs are a motherfucker. And sorry for my French. I didn't mean to cuss.
You can say whatever you want. I mean, that's
But
fine.
SOPs are a mofo. If they have standards or set SOPs for what they have to do, standard operating procedures for what they have to do, I can't go in and legally tell them you can't do that. The only person that can do that is somebody that has brass, which is, sheriff, let's say we're in the city chief, something like that. And then that goes to their supervisor or their commander, and then it stops or it keeps going, however that's going to work. But when it comes to the federal government, it doesn't matter what you do. They have their mindset on one thing, and that's what they are going to do.
I have an example. I don't know if you saw the video where an agent had sprayed pepper spray. This guy was wearing an inflatable costume, like one of those inflatable like dinosaur costumes. And you know how they have those little like air holes in them?
I've seen that, yeah.
The guy sprayed pepper spray directly into the air hole so that he could not breathe.
Yes.
I don't feel like, that it could just be me. I don't feel like that is within their right. I don't feel like that is what they were there to do. I feel like that is something that you could do something about.
Yes, well, in that, and yes, I've seen that exact video. 100%, I know exactly what you're talking about. In that instance, I know that he wasn't in the right for doing that, due to the fact of he's in an inflatable suit. He is no threat to you.
It's attempted homicide.
No, it's not. It's not attempted homicide.
He knowingly sprayed that into.
Yes, but using less than lethal is not attempted homicide. If he had fired a round through that inflatable, that would have been lethal force. That would have been attempted. But with all that being said, no, they could have handled that a bunch of different ways. Granted, they were also fighting with a whole bunch of other people. So, ooh, you got a whale. Anyway, that could have been handled a whole different bunch of situations. I think that was a little overkill, but because you can't get out of that suit by yourself that I know of. I don't know. I've never had one, so I don't know. But I think that's a little bit overkill.
Can I just say thank you for the £7.11 from Gen X leftist, not Gentle Fist, who said that my PP is solid. So I just want to say thank you.
What?
Everybody else in here knows what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's fine. W's Gentle Fist. W's Gentle Fist.
We love a gentle fist.
Love a gentle fist.
But back to it. Like I said, just because you talk to a law enforcement officer or a deputy sheriff or a police officer or a state police, they're not going to know every single thing when it comes to federal, because you're not they don't push federal down your throat as much as wanting you to learn your municipal and your your county.
You know what,
So
Captain? I understand. You know what? I'll give you that. Fine, but I think we can all agree that as a grown man, as an adult, you know the difference between right and wrong. You know the difference between right.
100%,
You know
yeah.
and at the end of the day,
I love how all these comments are telling me I shouldn't be there. It just makes me laugh so bad.
I mean, try to focus here.
I know I am. I'm
You know,
I'm listening and reading the
don't-
comments. So
Don't if we all read the comments, then don't. But just at the end of the day, should these people be going around wearing masks and doing what amounts to terrorizing American citizens to get their job done? And do you agree with what's happening and the way that they are going about their tactics? If you're a law enforcement officer, do you agree with what they're doing?
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So the mask part, that's kind of a here and there subject. That could be, they just want to. I know they're trying to protect their identity because they are one of the most hated agencies in the United States. 100%, I can understand that. They want to protect themselves. They want to protect their families, because of the job they do. The other portion of that is, I'm not saying that their tactics are too aggressive. I'm not saying they're not aggressive enough. I'm just saying that there are other ways to be able to handle a lot of these situations. One, like you've stated before, and Keegan and Erica stated before, the warrants issue. I don't know what it takes for a federal law enforcement agency to gather a warrant to do what they do.
It's the same thing as you guys getting a warrant. You just have to go in front of a judge and prove that there's a reason to do it. That's all.
You said no. You literally just said that there was administrative warrants.
No.
I'm
I'm saying administrative warrants are different. I'm saying that to enter a domicile under our Constitution, they need a judicial warrant. They're
Yes.
trying to just say unilaterally, we can use administrative warrants to enter people's homes, which is not true. And they've never gone in front of the Supreme Court. They've never gotten that and said, hey, is this legal? Is this okay? They've just been like, we're doing this.
Right, and that's and that's what it is. And just to give y'all a little context on my law enforcement background, I work in a county that is 100 square miles compared to most people that join, and they're in big cities, big counties, stuff like that. 100 square miles is not a lot.
Okay. That's
So
fine.
when
Again,
it
it's
comes
just-
to having to know about the federal government and all this stuff, we don't deal with that at all, hardly.
I'm not, dude. It's fine. It's okay. I'm not saying you have to know everything about the federal government. I'm asking you to simply use your eyes. Use your eyes if you're a law enforcement officer and you're saying that you're okay with what ICE is doing.
I am okay with what they're doing to criminals. They have reason.
No, that's
reasonable
not the question
suspicion.
that I asked you. I didn't say, are you okay specifically with ICE, with what ICE is doing to a certain segment of people? Because that's not how life works. ICE is operating with everybody. So we actually have to take the totality of circumstances.
Yes.
So I'll try again. Are
Then
you okay
yes,
with what ICE is doing as a whole?
Then yes, I am okay with what ICE is doing
Okay,
as a whole.
if you're okay with what ICE is doing as a whole, then you are condoning going against the Constitution, inflicting violence on U.S. citizens and basically giving away our constitutional rights.
If that's how you see it, then
No, sir, it's not how I see it. That is literal fact. I have laid out in stark facts the way that they're doing each of those things. Not up for debate.
Okay, so well, I mean, it is up for debate because if you have probable cause that someone is illegal,
Sir,
and when I say probable cause, I don't say probably cause.
Sir, can you enter a home without a judicial warrant except for exigent circumstances? Yes or no?
No.
Fantastic. ICE is now entering homes without judicial warrants. Is that against the law?
It's against your constitutional rights.
There you go.
For sure.
And yes, so very good. So we've now established that ICE is doing unconstitutional, unlawful things.
I
would just have to see it. I'm very biased about a lot of things, and this one I'm trying to be biased about, but I haven't seen anything, which granted, yes, you're going to say, oh, well, you don't watch the news or something. I do watch the news.
I mean, he showed you the article. There's videos of it, too.
The Asian dude, that was one of them that he sent. That one was a big misunderstanding, big mistake, 100%.
And
But
how do you get a Black Hawk helicopter by mistake?
I don't know how they got a Black Hawk helicopter. Hell, my department don't even have a Black Hawk helicopter. We don't even have a helicopter. We have to call state police for that.
So you acknowledge that that's not a mistake?
No, I mean, yeah, one just didn't show up at a random place for no reason. I mean, somebody called that in, whether it be the FBI or the ATF, or not ATF, FBI or ICE.
Here, check this out. Here's the Chicago raid. Immigration officer. Oh, shit! That's the wrong article. Sorry, I'll pull up the right one. I know. I pulled up the wrong. I have so many. There's so many articles about this. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you've got to realize too that there's been times we've been sent to the wrong house due to a domestic, or due to a.
Hang on. Getting sent to the wrong house is one thing. Do you still have a warrant to enter the wrong house?
Well, so hang
on. Time out. I want an answer to this question before we move any further. Did you get a warrant to go into a home? Did you get a judicial warrant to go into a home?
No.
Wait a second. You're saying you didn't get a warrant to go into a home and you're still going to go enter a home?
When we get a hot call like that for a DV situation...
You're talking about something different. That's different.
I'm literally talking about the exact same thing.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, okay, dude.
When I said we entered the wrong home, that's what I was talking about.
Okay, then that's different. You're not talking about a warrant situation.
No, and I've already explained to you that twice.
Dude, we're talking. Okay, then then there's nothing else to talk about. They're breaking the law. ICE is breaking the law, and you're okay with it.
They're violating your constitutional rights is what they're doing.
That's breaking the law.
100% it's the law. But how do you think that's going to work out? It's not going to go anywhere because someone's going to articulate at some point in time in their reports that they needed to go into that house for one set or certain reason.
There you go.
Tell me how that's breaking the law.
So guys, fuck your constitutional rights because some law enforcement officer is going to fuck you over and lie about it.
Yes.
Yeah, fucking thin blue line over here.
Okay. It's all about articulation. If you know so much,
you literally just admitted that we shouldn't care about our constitutional rights because one of you fuckers is going to lie about it and fuck us over. Yup.
Good job just twisting that. What I said was it depends on how they articulate it as to why they needed to go into your house.
You said someone's going to make up a reason as to why. That's what you said.
I said someone's going to articulate something to be able to get into that house.
Can I just summarize? Okay, so yes or no, you are okay with what ICE is doing currently in the United States?
Me?
He's already
Yes.
said yes.
Yes.
Just to summarize, you're okay with ICE violating our Constitution,
No, I'm not okay with them violating the Constitution.
but you're okay with what they're doing currently.
Yeah, I mean, if they're
And as Matt has shown, they have violated our Constitution.
okay.
So, yes or no, you were okay with what ICE is doing, including violating our Constitution.
No, I'm not okay with them violating the Constitution.
So
I
are
am
you
okay with
what ICE
them.
is doing?
Huh?
Are you okay with what ICE is doing right now? As a law enforcement, as law enforcement, are you okay with what ICE is doing right now?
Yes.
That's really disappointing to me.
Well, and it might be disappointing to you, but
I feel
I
like it's
mean, when it-
disappointing to a lot of people. You're supposed to be our police.
yeah, even though that everybody's saying all cops are bad, all this, and not everybody
I never
sees it
said
the way
that.
you see it, because I'm not trying to pick y'all's brain as to what I'm
My
trying
cousin
to
is an
say.
officer, and I would really, really hope that my cousin, if he sees this happening, he would think that's wrong.
There's
That he would
things-
want to serve under our Constitution and protect the people.
There's
I would-
protocols for all
I
of
would
that.
have thought, Keegan, I would have thought, I don't know, you might agree or disagree with me, that the reason that a person, a legitimate reason that someone might want to become any kind of law enforcement officer is to uphold the law.
Yes.
If you are perfectly happy that ICE is not upholding the law, why the hell did you start doing this job in the first place? Because
I started doing this job well before the GF incident, when it was
I'm sorry,
actually about the badge, when it was actually about not being corrupt, when it was actually about doing your job like you're supposed to.
no, there are many communities.
And then you get thrown
I'm-
into situations like
I'm
this.
sorry.
Erica
sorry.
was speaking.
I'm like in the middle of talking.
All right, no, I gotta mute real quick anyway.
There are many communities who, for perfectly justified reasons and justifiable reasons, are suspicious of the police. I'm 47 years old. I have always known that there are groups of people and communities that have been purposefully targeted by the police, and therefore those people have been suspicious, or or more than that, of police officers. It is not new that there are people who don't trust cops, and for perfectly good reason. How many examples do we have of police violating the law, planting evidence, all of these things? And we might say that, one bad apple rots the barrel, but the point is, the bad apple can only rot the barrel if you turn a blind eye to the fact that it's rotting. If you see that it's rotting and you pick it out, it can't rot the rest of the barrel. And the problem is, you're not checking whether anything else is rotten.
Yes.
And also, I just want to point out to you here, this is about the Chicago apartment building raid. This is from the Chicago Sun-Times. And this is Roderick Johnson, 67, one of many residents detained by federal agents during the South Shore raid. As a U.S. citizen, he said agents broke through his door, dragged him out in zip ties. Johnson said he was left tied up outside the building for 3 hours before agents finally let him go. I asked agents why they were holding me if I was an American citizen. They said I had to wait until they looked me up. I asked if they had a warrant, and I asked for a lawyer. They never brought one.
Okay.
They broke in to another U.S. citizen. That's just one of the citizens in the apartment building. This is a pattern. This is not isolated oopsies. They are doing this on purpose, and you're cool with them shitting on us and shitting on the Constitution.
No, I am not.
Yes,
cool
you
with
are.
them.
Yes, you are.
No,
Yes.
I am not cool with them shitting on the Constitution.
You said that
I'm
you're
not
okay
cool
with what
all
ICE is
that.
doing.
I'm
said,
okay with what ICE is doing, but
if you're
like
okay with
Erica
what
just
ICE
said,
is doing, then you're okay
one
with
apple-
this.
She said one apple rots the whole barrel. No, everybody
Yes.
has it set in their fucking head that law enforcement is.
Yes, because people like you are
No,
saying
not like
because people like you
I've done.
are saying that ICE
you
is
have-
okay, even though somebody like me is literally showing you instance after instance where they are fucking violating the Constitution of the United States, and you're going, I still think they're okay.
Put a
That's
vest on, do a
why.
ride along.
That's
all I'm
why
saying.
you're part of the problem.
Put a vest on, do a ride along. That's all
What
I'm
would
saying.
that change? Matt still cares about our Constitution and our
Hang
people.
on. I've done that before.
Crazy. How long?
What do you mean how long? I've done a full day. I did an 8-hour shift. Pinellas
So
County.
you weren't-
Hang on.
so you
Time
haven't
out.
been
Time
law
out.
enforcement.
Pinellas County.
You said do a ride along.
Hey, you said do a ride along. I've done that with
Yes.
the Pinellas County Sheriff's Department.
Mm-hmm.
Cool story,
One
bro.
of the most brutal.
Also,
one of the most brutal.
shut the fuck up. Also, my partner is a
your
federal.
mom's
Shut
hoe.
the fuck up. Also, my partner is a federal attorney.
Bitch.
Oh, are your feelings hurt now, Bubba? Anyways,
Sure, why
since
not?
you're part of the fucking problem, you're literally the person sitting here as we point out to you constitutional violations by a law enforcement group, and you, as a fellow law enforcement officer, won't condemn that. That is why all cops are bastards, and you are one of them. That's why. It's because you literally won't look at this and go, that's wrong, I don't support that, and I don't support ICE. You look at that and you just go, well, I support ICE. But you think that we should just be like, well, you guys are okay. No, fuck you. I mean, like, seriously, fuck you, because you won't stand behind American citizens and the Constitution of the United States. That's why people don't like law enforcement officers. Get it? Huh.
If that's how you feel.
No, it's not how I feel. It's the fact. It's because you care more about your fellow law enforcement officers than the Constitution of the United States and your other fellow U.S. citizens.
Yeah, well, try
because
being at war with your own.
Shut the fuck up. No one fucking cares.
Yeah, pussy.
Throw
Shut
me
the fuck up, bitch. Kick me, hoe.
No, I'm not going to kick you.
You see how emotional he is?
No, you know what?
He's supposed to be a police
And
officer.
by the way-
he's so emotional.
And by the way, he acts like he didn't fucking pick this job. If you don't like it, go do something else, Bubba. You act like somebody fucking forced you to do this. Go do something else if you don't like it. Oh,
I
wait.
did it on my own.
Oh, wait.
Like, this is a cop.
Oh,
by the
wait.
way.
Hold on. You probably can't do something else, right? This is probably all that you could do. So, since you can't go do something else, you got a power trip and you got to be a fucking law enforcement officer in your little fucking town. I'm sure
do
it
more.
makes you feel like some big fucking
more.
prick. And so,
I do more.
since you're some big
more.
fucking prick law enforcement officer, good for you. You hate the Constitution, but you'll always back your fellow law enforcement officers. And if something happens and you fight back against it, don't worry. They'll figure out how to fuck you over, like you said earlier. That's going to be a great clip, by the way, Bubba.
Good, clip it. I don't give a fuck.
I'm going to, because it's people like you that makes everybody else hate law enforcement officers. Because
And it's people like you that make.
No, it's not. It's people like me that point out fucking hypocrisy with people
Wrong
like
answer.
you.
Goodbye. Fuck you.
Yeah, run away like a little bitch, because that's what you are. Go. Run.
Oh no, I'm gonna stay here now.
Oh, no, you're going to stay here? You just announced your departure like it's a fucking airport.
Okay.
Go. Run away. I thought you were leaving.
No, you want to keep talking? Go ahead and keep talking. I'm listening.
Bubba, you've got nothing to say. You've lost at every single point in this conversation. You have zero.
No, I haven't.
You have zero bits of substance to add here. You have zero sources. You have nothing to say. The only thing that you've said is, as we pointed out, ICE infraction after ICE infraction, and every single fucking thing that they've done wrong, all you said is, I still support ICE. I'll still support them.
I do support ICE.
Cool. Just because. So you've literally now proved the point that the only reason you support them is because you're fucking law enforcement. Good job, Bubba.
Okay, so what else do you want from me?
Why are you still here?
Nobody here requires your presence, so
You can go.
All right,
can
kick
just
me.
hop off. No,
No,
you can leave.
just leave.
Okay. Well, it was a great conversation, guys. I appreciate it. And may you all rest in shit.
Yeah.
Can anyone find out where this guy works?
I wonder how long he would last doing my job with that temper. Being a teacher is like going to war without a pew pew. Don't tell me what a freaking hard job is.
Get the fuck out. Like, get fucked. That is literally why people are not cool with law enforcement, is because they'll literally look at somebody violating the Constitution in numerous instances and just be like, "Oh, I still support them. I'm literally here to serve and protect my community, but I would rather turn a blind eye to Constitution." I mean, what the fuck? Thank you to Tammy on the Blue app. It says, people say ACAB because of exactly what this asshat just said. I know they're violating laws, but it's okay. Exactly. Thank you, Tammy. Anna, thank you on the Blue app. Fuck this idiot rent-a-cop. He does not represent those of us that actually care about the law. Fuck you, little bitch. The rest of law enforcement fucking everywhere. Strong words from fellow law enforcement officer. And thank you, Anna. We appreciate people like you. So, thank you.
Can I? Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, presumably he didn't care that much about the law when he voted for a felon. Presumably the law's not that important to him.
The only time that guy's spinning a patrol car is in the back seat.
Val, is like I was really gonna rip in hard to him because as soon as he couldn't name off exigent circumstances like that. I don't know did you hear that part of the conversation at the beginning?
Yeah, that's when
I knew. I was like, but I you know what? I was just like, I was just gonna let him kind of give us the I was just like, fine, you know what? Fine. I'll go with it because you're making them look bad. And I was like, you know what? Fine. So I don't care.
Matt,
yeah.
Oslo is in the comments.
Oh, Oslo, are you back? Come on up.
And said that they lost connection and doesn't know what our response was regarding the Trump signs. I don't think we gave a response because we were so busy trying to resurrect Oslo from being frozen, I think.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know. That's a tough. Yeah, I think it's tough. I'm of two minds. Erica, that
you're in two minds.
I'm of
Matthew.
two minds.
Don't split them in half.
That's a great little interesting difference between U.S. and America. Anyways,
okay, can I?
Recap it. Yeah,
re-ask Oslo's question.
Yeah.
So Oslo's question was, if you were in Minnesota right now, if you were in Minneapolis and ICE are doing the door-to-door thing, is it worth putting up Trump signs outside your house with an eye to the idea that ICE might bypass your property because they think that you're in support of the administration?
So my thoughts on it are, if we really think that it might dissuade people, there's a personal aspect to it, and there's a part of me that wants to be like principled about it. Okay, so this is why I'm in two minds, Erica. Is because there's a principled part that wants to be like, hell no, don't do that. Stand up for your principles, and that's kowtowing in some way. He's giving in some way. However, The other, I think more important part would be if it really meant more safety, if we could say in some discernible way that it would give these people more cover, that it would give them some type of additional safety, that it would help them in a relevant way, fuck it. Put the sign up. Because who fucking cares? Trick these motherfuckers and use whatever tactics necessary, because the most important thing at the end of the day is the safety of these people, and we need to protect these people. And if that's a way to potentially protect people, then I would say let's protect people. I have the ability here, like in Massachusetts and like where I live and being who I am, like I can be principled and not have to put up a Trump sign in my yard. That's fucking great for me. I'm very privileged. They maybe can't, and maybe they need to. Maybe they should put out a Trump flag. Maybe they should do whatever they fucking can. And so that's my thought on it, Oslo. I'll let the rest of you fine folks weigh in, but that's me. That's my opinion and mine own. Does not reflect the views of the rest of the panel.
I would just worry, my worry with it would, due to that anti-Trump sentiment right now in Minneapolis, my worry would be that you would attract attention from other people who, that would be I think if it weren't for the anti-Trump sentiment in that area right now, it would be worth a try. I think anything's worth a try if you are in a situation where you are somebody who maybe has a green card, or somebody who has like a some kind of judicial decision to keep you in the country, like you have protected status or something of that nature, and you're concerned. But I don't know whether it's worth it, in the sense that it might attract negative attention in a different way. I think if you were maybe somewhere where the anti-Trump sentiment was not quite as high, it would be worth a go, but I don't know.
I think it's a good point. I also think our friend Diav in the comments also brought up a good point, which is that they are really looking at skin color. I just think that maybe if they're just trying to go house to house and like knock on doors, maybe I don't know, but I think she's right. I mean, they obviously, because of fucking Brett Kavanaugh and what he said in his fucking Supreme Court decision, fuck that asshole. But literally giving them the literal fucking go ahead to discriminate people based on skin color and accent, which is unfucking believable to me. Especially we've seen the videos of the literal ICE agents with an accent interrogating people and asking them about their accent, which is like,
You're trying to say that there's an oxymoron there.
I'm saying there's at least one moron there. But anyways, Keegan or Val, if you guys want to weigh in on that, if you guys have a thought on the Trump sign thing, feel free. For Oslo,
I'm kind of with Eric on this. I'd be worried about the anti-Trump sentiment too. That's growing beyond Minnesota, way beyond Minnesota. And I'll give you an example of that. This week we're having a special election. It's early voting for a special election. It's happening Tuesday. Tarrant County, Texas has been red for a while. The election that's going on is going to replace a House Senate seat that was vacated. And that House Senate seat has been held by Republicans for 30 years. The first day of early voting in this special election, mind you, special election, it's a runoff election, and it broke records. It actually broke the 2024 election day record of turnout, the first day of early voting. That is not good for Republicans. And this is, and this is the sentiment. And the opponent is a Trump-backed lady, and she got chewed up she got really chewed up. She only got 21% of the vote in the election day election. The only reason we're having a special election is because there was 3 candidates, and what will end up being the winner in this candidate, which is the Democrat, or the winner in this election, which is the Democrat. He got 49.9% of the vote. In Texas, you have to have 50% in one person to stop a runoff.
Got it. Okay. I mean, I hear what you guys are saying. I mean, I think that I get it. I mean, I think that the anti-Trump sentiment is certainly going in the other direction. I mean, we obviously don't want people getting retaliated against negatively. So if that's a thing that's happening,
I think if everyone in your community knows what you're doing and why you're doing it, that's a different situation, right? I just think if the problem with ICE in Minneapolis escalates in any way, then you're maybe putting yourself in a more dangerous situation than you would have done previously. And I don't know. It's I completely get the question. Yeah.
Keegan, did you have any thoughts? You want to weigh in? Or no? Anything? No?
I mean, not really. I kind of agree with what Erica's saying.
Okay. Wow, way to
I know, I'm very
contribute there.
so much substance I'm contributing to the conversation today.
It's okay.
I'm just very wise.
Yeah.
I think.
Erica, I did mean to say. Okay, so for reference, I didn't know that you were a teacher. My my boyfriend is also British, for reference. Texted my group chat that I have, or my chat that I have with him, and said, "I knew she was tired of kids. I could tell. The British voice. I knew she was tired of kids."
You have right. I'm just gonna say this. You have no idea. My Friday period 5 lesson is the worst lesson of the week.
Apparently, you just have like a typical British teacher tired of kids voice, I guess. He says British secondary schools are hell. Oh God.
I actually work in a really nice school. I just happen to have a very challenging group of young people in my class this year. Not all of them, but some of them are a challenge. And I teach my own form last lesson on a Friday.
He says it's definitely year 8s or 9s, I fear.
No, 7s. Year 7. Last lesson on a Friday. The year 8s are delightful. This is year 7s.
Real quick, I need to say thank you to Eli. Thank you, Eli, for the 2 on the Green app. Eli said on the last guest, only a matter of time till the bad cop came out. Yup. And he also said, "Captain's a disgrace to the badge he wears," in quotes. I think you might have been on something there, Eli. Also, thank you to Greg on the Blue app who said, "Matt, I think you should trademark little bitch." I don't know if I can trademark that. I'm not sure. Also, thank you to Joanne. Thank you, Joanne, on the tube, who said, "Teachers have it bad. I do not envy you, but I appreciate you so much." That's for Erica.
You should make a sticker. You should make a little bitch sticker.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, because Matt and I have a store. If anyone doesn't know, I have a store. And we were talking about making Matt merch.
Yes.
And he could definitely have a little bit shirt.
Yeah, I think so. So I do have a new. I'm debuting a new logo. I've got a new logo and some new stuff kind of to go along with that. And so yes, I if you guys would be interested, yes, that is correct. Hark the Harlot. That's me. That's correct. If you guys would be interested, well, it's not a rebrand necessarily. It's going to be a Neely. It's going to be a branding everything, making everything consistent across, because I want people to be able to recognize everything. So, but I don't know. We got about 1,000 people in here. Would you guys be interested in some potential shit? Like, I don't know, like a shirt or so. I don't know. Like, I have no idea if you guys are.
I would wear Matt merch.
Well, thank you, Keegan. I appreciate that. So don't worry.
I think
I'm
we should
still
just make a shirt that
Hats
says
are great.
Matt merch on it.
Matt merch. Don't worry, Keegan. I'm still gonna let you stay at my house at the end of the month, next month. Okay, don't worry. It's fine. You don't have to butter me up. I
Okay,
promise.
then I don't want the merch. I don't want your face on a
See, there you go.
t-shirt. Okay.
That's see. You know what? I knew. That's fine. It's okay.
I think you should get a T-shirt with Matt's face on it and wear it the entire time that you're at his house.
No.
Things just got weird, Erica. But so anyways, all right. I mean, if you guys, we'll see then. I will work with Erica. We've got some cool designs. I'm also gonna I crowdsourced graphic designer who is one of our listeners, which is really cool. Matt Masks, oh boy, who's one of our listeners, and paid him to do some of the work for me. I'm gonna call him out and be happy to shout him out for his services. And it was really cool to get to work with one of our followers, which is great.
That's a good one. We can get Matt's mug on a mug.
Matt's mug on a mug. I guess we could do that.
Who would want Matt's face on something they're gonna drink out of?
Hey, why you gotta be like that? That feels unnecessary.
I don't know if you're aware of the relationship that we have with one another, Matt, but it's based on derision and banter. I don't know if you're aware.
That's fine. That's fine, Erica. I see how it is. Thank you guys all very much for your support. Probably gonna have to wrap up here shortly. Also, just wanted to point out, this was the moment earlier when Oslo got frozen, which I love that was the face that Oslo froze on.
As soon as he paused earlier, someone in the comments said, "Oh no, he's disassociating." It's just so funny.
Oh boy, that was delightful. Although we were upset that Oslo dropped, that was fun.
Can I just point out the similarity between Oslo's face in this picture and Donald Trump's face on his mugshot? I don't know if anyone had picked up on that before, but I think it's just the angle looks like it's slightly from above, and I'm into it.
No comment. I'm a comment for Oslo.
Come on, Matt.
Nope. No, the skin color is off. Oslo's that gorgeous silky red color. He's got the other they've got the other orange monster, okay? They have the other orange we know who the orange monster is. Okay, that's far more appropriate. But
hang on, California Dreaming said they think he looks more like Kash Patel.
Damn.
It's the Kubrick stare.
Yeah, I was going to say it's all in the eyes. It's all in the eyes.
It really is. All right, guys. I think I've probably got to wrap up over here for the day. I think that we Erica, unless you have an object. We should send some folks over to your Oslo's taller than Cash. I bet you are, bud. I bet you are. I was looking. I was thinking we could maybe send some people over to Crystal, unless there's somebody that you were looking at that you'd like to throw to. That's just a thought, but it's up to you.
I'm on one device, so I can see nothing apart from where we are right now. But I would love to raid Crystal.
I would like that too, because we'd never get
because
to.
Crystal's not often on, and Crystal is a big supporter of Matt's live, so I think that would be great.
I'm going to put her at right now down here. Wait, before we go, Crow said, Matt, Discord, we got here from the Crow. Shut the fuck up, Crow. All right, real quick before we go, from Crow, and then I want everyone to go raid our friend Crystal. Coming soon to Erica's merch store.
Oh my!
All right. I'm
excited. I'm excited for the Matt underwear with Matt's
That's
hairy face.
borderline terrifying.
I just want to say everything nice that I said earlier about Crow I take back. All right, let's